Straight out of Compton, crazy mother named Ice Cube. From the gang called Fellers with Attitudes. When I'm called off, I got a soda. Squeeze the trigger and bodies are hauled off. You too, boy, if you with me. The police are gonna have to come and get me off your ass. That's how I'm going out. For the pulp mother, it's going out.
Good evening, everybody, or good afternoon, shabby geekers.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
I do, folks.
So, Si, you set this up. What's it all about, Si?
Today, this week, I thought I fancied talking about people's displays and your display rooms, because if there's one thing that most of us either want, have got, or need a bit more of, it's display rooms. And I was thinking to myself, like, you know, if all you lot, like the ones that have display rooms at the moment, I don't, because I just haven't the space here. So until I move, I won't get my display room back. But for most of you that do have display rooms, my first question would be to you all, if you could empty it and it was all out of that room now, would you put it back exactly the same, or is there things that you'd change to that room?
I know the answer. I know the answer to everybody.
Who's going first?
Yeah.
Whoever wants to jump in.
I'll have a think first. Somebody else wants to take the lead.
Can I just say before we answer, who's Lawrence? He says, see how Lawrence displays his collection. Who's Lawrence?
I think it's supposed to be Lawrence Llewellyn Bowen.
Yeah, he couldn't make it tonight. He couldn't make it.
No,
Radical Carol Smiley.
I'm not sure really, because the thing about it is it depends. I've moved so many times and had different collections rooms, but then you set one up in and we've got pictures and videos of everybody's collections tonight that they've sent in, but you do your room up, don't you? But then I think you've got no choice but to change it simply because of the amount of stuff that you keep buying. Do you know what I mean? And you know,
the problem is, well, it's not a problem, but I think if we were, well, I'll speak for me, but I think most people might have the same opinion. Obviously, our rooms are a progression. So at some point, the first things went into our room and then the second things. And your rooms change, obviously, periodically as you add things to it. So my room is set out in a way that it's ended up this way as a progress, because I've had to do it in stages where if I was to take everything out in one go and then I could redisplay it all again in one go,
right?
I think I'd probably do it differently, because it's going to be nothing into everything rather than a slow progression in, well, they can go there because they look nice there, or well, I've only got them shelves free now, so they'll have to go there, or they'll have to go there because them shelves are full. Whereas if you took it all out and did it all again from scratch, you could probably have a rethink. Whereas the idea of taking it all out voluntarily to start again, even though I could maybe display it differently and maybe better, it ain't worth thinking about, because it would be a week-long operation. So I mean, I think I'll probably do my room differently if I could take it all out and put it all back in. But said that, I'm really happy with how my room is. So
I agree with Luke. I think if I took everything out of here and put it back, I would put it back differentently.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because your missus says, I would like to sum up how I display my every instance. Stu hasn't already started and showing you whatever it fits. Happy birthday, by the way, Georgie.
Happy birthday.
Oh, dude.
Well, it also depends on how your room's shaped, doesn't it? Because I've got a big fireplace here that's built in, and then my room goes like it's not a square box. It goes out, then in, then round, and you've got to work on that as well, haven't you? How to fit your stuff in there.
Yeah. Well, that's it, Stu, because I see you in your room, and then I'll see you next time and go, right, that's been moved. I'm putting some shelves up there. That's been moved. I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to put... It always constantly, like, evolves, doesn't it, your room? Like Shabby doing it now with this.
Yeah.
And it just got me thinking that, you know, if you could absolutely empty it and put it all back again, would it look the same as what you've basically got it for?
I don't think it would, because I've been sitting here for the last few days, and Georgie can testify, and I've been thinking, how can I change this around? How can I make it look different and stuff like that? To me, my collection room is like a piece of art. You're never really happy with it. You've always want it to change. You always want to add things to it, or do you know what I mean? Try and make it look better, utilize every single bit of space. And it's now getting to the point where that space is now sort of like I'm not having that space as much anymore. So yeah, I think if I did take it out, I would. I mean, these shelves, for example, they're quite thick shelves. I could take those out and put smaller shelves in and thinner shelves. Do you know what I mean? So then it won't take up so much wall space. I can get another couple of shelves in, maybe. Just little things like that that I think about a lot of the time.
It also depends on what you collect, because if you say, for example, TVC, like what Martyn's room looks like right now, it's kind of, I think, and you correct me if I'm wrong, because I've got your pictures here and so forth, and now you've changed it. But I think when you've got something more or less the same type of measurement, it's more, it gives you more of an easy way to do your collection. But whereas the rest of us that collect
everything,
you know, big, small, this, that, and so, and you will now. It's like I got those Sector figures from Walmart, and I don't know where to stick them because that card is massive. So then you have to think all over again. Well, hang on a minute, where do I stick this and where do I put that?
Yeah.
See, I know what this is going to feel like, because next year I've got to redo my floors in here, so I have to take everything out and sort of like put it back in. But because at the moment when I walk, it's an old house. When I walk in, everything shakes. It's like earthquake 1977. It's just, everything falls off. So I've got to redo it. But I'll probably look at sort of like different units, display units, and maybe something with glass covers or something, so I don't have to dust as much.
Oh God!
Yeah, the dusting's bad in it for collection. Like my old house, Mark would say when I had all my stuff set up, and God, you dusted every 5 minutes. In the end, you just give up. They'll all live in the door pockets. That's a wee. Just leave them.
Yeah, it's part of the display.
Yeah.
Stu, rises can help you fit more and be able to space them out.
I have started using risers as well. And excuse me, I've noticed as well, look, you've got a lot of boxes in your collection. I used to display quite a few boxes as well, unopened stuff, but I find that takes up quite a bit of space as well. If you went back and did your room again, would you keep the boxes in there as well?
Yeah, I would, because there are certain things that, I mean, they generally tuck either underneath the bottom shelves on the floor or right at the very top of my displays, and almost storage wise. But funnily enough, I find the boxes actually help me, even though they do take up a lot of room, because you think, like, if I look in this corner behind my laptop now, I've got the Millennium Falcon sat in its box. Now, again, it's a big box, takes up a lot of room, but if you try and display the Millennium Falcon out of the box, it's so much more difficult because it's deep. You've got to find where do you put it? You know, you can't put it on a shelf because it overhangs massively and probably won't sit on it. Fort Kerriam. If you set up Fort Kerriam in the triple set, it's massive and it comes out a long way. So it's less room in the box. Same as like the Batwing, or you know, that's quite big. And so weirdly, even though the boxes are big, they actually take up less room sat in the box on the floor rather than trying to get them on a shelf somewhere. I would hang them from the ceiling, but it scares me to death if they fall. Because if they fall,
I wouldn't do that.
And so I think it's a good way of displaying things like, you know, the Falcon or the Batwing or whatever.
I put one on the ceiling.
It's a great way to display them, and I think they look brilliant. But I'm so scared if they fall, and that's I don't do it.
Biker says, I sometimes struggle to find rises to fit my displays. Let me ask you a question. Have you worked out your toy collections from the toys you already have? Or do you put the shelves in first and then whatever fits, do it that way? Dave, I'll ask you that because obviously you've got all shapes and sizes there. So
yeah. So this is version 2 of the room. And in my head, I haven't drawn it out yet. I have a version 3 model for the room because I really want to change the room up, because I put this room was set up at the beginning of COVID, and I did a little video series of it being gutted and then kind of put together, and the lighting and everything, which I've learned a lot from. So when I looked around for these cabinets, I didn't want to use the IKEA ones, mostly because I wanted to annoy Camilla, mostly, to be honest. It's like, I'm not using that Swedish IKEA. No, I wanted to find wider cabinets. So I found some wider cabinets, and also they got these kind of runners that go up and down, so you can move the shelves up and down. And I bought extra shelves because I knew that I was going to have to find as much shelf space as possible. So I have shelves that got big gaps, and I've got shelves that got narrow gaps. So I kind of had a rough idea where everything was going to go at the time, because it was fitted at the time. And so then, kind of adjusted it around the shelves and stuff, and fitted the displays in amongst the shelves. But now, as time's gone by, all I'm trying to do is find space wherever I can and stick things in the space.
Yeah, me too.
But to be honest, this display hasn't really changed now in a few years. There's a few additions, but all the new stuff is in cupboards and not on display, which is something we should talk about.
I was kind of looking like that because if I just make myself bigger, I'll show you the ones that I use. These, right? And so basically, the 5T with no back, and they're just like a storage shelf that goes, but you can build on them. You see what I mean? The way I've done it on on this side as well. But with it having no back on it too, then basically, if I get things like the Falcon or something like, I can actually put it on and then just take it away from the wall a bit, and everything fits on it nice.
Yeah.
And these are only 25. I mean, I try my hardest, me, not to spend, because the way I work it out is I'm doing all this for me, so I don't want to spend that much family money, if you will, doing up my toy room or whatever. So I think that's what we do. Have you all found, like what Dave's just said as well, cupboards and shelves and stuff that actually work? And do you stick with that then, like that brand, if you will?
Well, just to say, Shabby, I wouldn't do cabinets again. So in my V3 room, there would not be cabinets like this.
Right.
Because there's no point. Well, one, I took the doors off. So because I found the glass doors really annoyed me. There was too much glare and I hated it. So I took the glass doors off. And then when you got cabinets, you basically got the sides. And there's no need to have sides.
You are restricted. Yeah.
So there's no
need. Exactly why I changed, Dave. Sorry, mate. Sorry, go on, carry on.
Yeah. So my V3 room would have a very different design.
V3. I love the way he puts it.
Yeah. But that's why I changed, because I had the Detolfs behind me. Now, the Detolfs are great when you want to display, for example, 1.1 scale helmets, because they fit perfectly. But when you stand back, I mean, I've gone for shelves, open shelves that are adjustable, so you can get different lengths, different widths, different depths, but they're all interchangeable because they're all on movable brackets. So if I have something that comes in, I was like, oh, that won't fit on that shelf, I can lift the one above it up so that it can. They're all movable. But I found this wall is the biggest wall in the collection room behind me, and that had my Detolfs on it with the helmets in. And when you stood back, it literally, that whole wall only housed the cabinets with the 1.1 scale helmets with one shelf above, and it took the whole wall. So when I stood back, I was like, if I got rid of those cabinets, that whole wall could be shelved top to bottom, and it would house 10 times as much stuff. And whilst I loved my cabinets, it was the best decision I ever made. Actually, I won't say it too loud. Rachel suggested it.
As you said it.
I'm trying to say it too loud.
Oh, brilliant. We've got loads of people in the chat. Red Five's just turned up. Keith Guppy's here. Loads of people have turned up. Gary Moore, you're only supposed to take the bloody doors off. Let me ask Simon Conor something, because you obviously don't have the toy room or whatever. So how do you plan your stuff and stick? Because I know there's a lot of lads in the community that, like, I remember Chocolate Chip Wookie shows all that vintage Star Wars immaculate, but it's all in storage, if you will. So how do you two work it out?
Me, well, my last house, my old house, I had quite a big collection.
Yeah, it was nice.
It was full size, and so basically it's going to be set out the same way as that. But I'm not. My way of thinking now, moving into new house, is getting the space and building my own shelves and put my own shelves up exactly how I want them. Do you know what I mean? Getting the wood and just putting them in like a big crossbar and doing it like that. Because again, I think you're right, because I look at Martyn's collection there, and I don't necessarily agree with him, but with the sort of things you collect, it is how they are displayed, isn't it? Because really, with them sort of cards, how else would you display them? You couldn't have them behind each other. You couldn't have them like hidden half and half. So I think you've got to look. It's like only one room. When I look at his, it's displayed for what he actually buys, isn't it? Really, not really for.
It does. It does work. Going back to what Shabby said earlier, I think it definitely does help if you collect a certain thing that is pretty much the same size and everyone. I mean, if I was to collect only, TVC, like say Martyn, I know he collects very little else, I'd have it displayed exactly how Martyn's got it. I just think it looks exceptional, but it certainly helps when it's all the same and you can just go boom, 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 just like that. I think it's. But when your collection is so diverse, like mine, like Dave's, like a lot of the other lads, the amount of messing around you have to do to accommodate everything. You get one set of figures and you think, well, all the shelves are set the same. I don't know, your sectors fit on that shelf, and then you go to put Centurions on the next shelf, and they don't quite fit. The head just hits the top shelf, so now I've got to adjust that shelf. It's such a nightmare, yet I kind of love it in a way because I like the diversity. But
yeah, I mean, we're moaning about something that we absolutely love. I mean, think about it. We all start, don't we? And the worst thing is what's on your shelves, isn't it? Because you take it all off to fix it up, and you're like, oh no, I've got to put all these back, and I've got to, you know what I mean? Right. But Conor, how do you feel about it?
Well, I think as Dave said earlier, all this stuff, a lot of his new stuff is in cupboards, and I'm the same. I have 2 cupboards here that's just full of boxes. My collection is figures. That's what I'm into, and I just don't have the space to display them. And I would love, you know, when I win the lottery and I get my own room, I would just love shelves with just them all lined up on shelves, and that's the way I'd like them, because I like my toys loose. I like to take them out and interact. That's the other thing. I think so. I give out to you before. I don't consider myself a collector, because I just still like having access to them, because I want to like pose them, take photographs, mess around with them. So it's kind of always, I always want them to have to hand. I don't want them kind of stored away. So, but yeah, I just don't have, you know, the space to display them. And look at the guys here, just envious of all the rooms that they have, little man caves. That's the dream.
I think that's the thing, though. Me and Si were talking about, and you've heard me say it before, that if someone has a shelf behind them just full of little stuff, that means the world to me. Do you know what I mean? I don't think you have to have a room. I think we're lucky to have a spare room, if you will, to do this. But you don't necessarily need it. Do you know what I mean? I think if you had a shelf and you put the stuff out that you really like, and so I've never been there. Once, you know, you look at people's rooms and they're the first and foremost. I think everyone with just a small shelf and a couple of things, that's just as important.
I think we all have in us that we want them on display. Yeah. Because, like, I mean, I don't want to sound silly, but they're important to us. Like, we go and spend money on them. So, you know, we hold value, be it, you know, nostalgic or monetary or whatever else, but we value what we pick up and what we get. And, you know, yeah, you'd love to have them on display. So I was only talking to Stu the other day, because he was asking, we were talking about the snow cat, and I said, yeah, my dragonfly is still in the shipper box. You know, I just never cracked it out, because it's too big, nowhere to put it. And then once you connect it, it's stuck. So, and we all watched VTR's video on the skeleton. So I wasn't making that same mistake of putting it together and stuck with it.
Gary says, Stu has a great way of displaying new toys. They stay in the shipping boxes, piled into the room, and he has the build to drop him. Right, so the first person I'm going to show is, hang on a minute, let's have a look. Hang on a minute.
Stretches it out like the news, doesn't he? He's never it's like some music or something.
Here we go. Let's see if you can see this. It's all changed on this. I didn't realise. Is this? So that's how it looks right there.
That's fantastic. That's beautiful.
And if I change it, has it changed now on the screen? Let's have a look. No, it hasn't. How does it?
No, that's that. Yeah, I took that the other day, so that's exactly how it is right now.
Let's have a look. Oh, here we go.
You're right, Chad.
No, they've changed it all on on StreamYard. That's a bit weird. Let's have a look. Present or invite. Share screen. Here we go. Got it. Right, just talking amongst yourselves. Sorry, lads, they've just changed everything.
There's a good example. Sorry. There's a great example right on the floor there of a collector's room. Is the bottom along the floor? You've got the Boulder Hill, and then you've got the Millennium Falcon, and then just by chance the Ghostbusters fire station slots in perfectly. And you do that.
There was a gap left, and I was like, "How on earth is that?" And that was just by chance.
Yeah. And it's meant to be. You know, it's meant to be. Yeah. And I have that happen a lot, where something just happens to fit absolutely perfectly. That's a great example.
Yeah.
Here we go. Got it. So that's Luke's right there. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. So we've seen it. So what's on there now? You've got all your big boxes at the bottom, Luke. So you say it's where you've just stored them and your boxes on top. See, that's the thing. You see, when you got all your helmets and you've taken your helmets out, but you've also left the boxes. I put my boxes in storage.
Well, no, all the helmets are in the boxes there.
Right, okay.
There's a few left in the corners that I don't have boxes for, but the rest of them I put back in the boxes because one of them started to discolor and it panicked me a bit, so I treated it and got it back to white and then stuck them all back in their boxes. So it's a real shame because they're not out on display anymore. I've only got a few left out, but it panicked me a bit, so I just stuck them all in their boxes and put them on the top shelf.
Yeah,
every inch of wall space is gone really now.
That when Adam and I did the road
really
trip,
made good use there over the bed with this.
Yeah, well, ideally I'd like to put another one underneath, but when I end up sleeping in here, it just end up knocking everything off. So.
That Pac-Man light's cool. I like that.
Excellent.
Yeah, Rachel got me that for Christmas. It's a nice touch. I like it.
Yeah. So, Martyn, when you was round here, what did you pinch?
Yeah, I mean, I'm obviously not a loose collector, and I visited Luke's, and I'd never been in anywhere like that before, so it was an absolute joy to be in there. I honestly, I couldn't talk for a while. Adam had to do all the talking, which doesn't really happen that often, and so yeah, I mean, it really, not just Luke, but everybody we visited that day, it has inspired me so much that I really, really do want to in the future start collecting other lines and having a loose collection. But it's just, and I'm sure we'll get onto space later, but yeah, it's just having the space. But yeah, this room was amazing, Luke. It's absolutely spectacular.
Oh, thank you.
As was Des, as was VTRs, as was everybody we visited. It was amazing.
I like the way you've done this, though. You've got Playmobil on there, G.I. Joe, Star Wars. So that's what we said before, isn't it? About making space for different size things.
It is. I'll tell you the only frustration I find, and I'm hoping somebody else jumps in and says I have the same problem, Luke. But whenever I do have a bit of what I call a reshuffle or a rejig, 'cause every so often I'll get something, I'll think I need to find a place for that. But then to find a place for something, I've then got to maybe alter something else. So I usually end up sort of maybe shifting one or two shelves to accommodate something else. But then, of course, what you're taking off the shelf has to then find a new home. And what I really enjoy having a reshuffle and just doing a small reorganization, the problem I always end up with, and it infuriates me at the end, is once you get to the last shelf that you think, right, I've sorted them out, you get to the last shelf and what you've got left over is either won't fit or it's just every other shelf looks organized with the same toy line on it or whatever, and then you have one random shelf with just random rubbish on it, if that makes sense, because it's what's left over at the end of your reorganization. So I always have one random shelf with 3 or 4 different toy lines just sat on it, and it looks dead odd. But yeah, so that's the only thing that annoys me whenever reshuffle.
That's cool. You've done it in the corner.
Yeah,
I love the mix on that. Like you've got like all the Star Wars boxes, and then just Bill and Ted over it, and it just pops on the shelf. Like it just stands out.
Yeah. Yeah, you're doing a good job.
I try to keep everything together if I can.
So I like the lighting.
The lighting really sets it out. I love the lighting. I need to get some lights in here.
Yeah, that's what I use. Those puck lights right there. Yeah.
I would recommend the puck lights, but the only thing I would say is you can get the puck lights where they're interchangeable colors, so you can get a little remote with them and you can change it to red, blue, green, purple, whatever. Or you can get puck lights where they're just solid white.
That's what I've got.
No other color. And I'd always recommend just solid white, because if you get the color changing ones, after a while they go funny and some of the LEDs go in them and they end up sort of, I mean, the ones behind me, when you come back, the ones behind me are interchangeable colors, and I always have them on white all the time. But over time, some of the LEDs go and they turn pink, even when they're on the white setting. You're like, right. So
that's why I went off the strips, Luke. I used to do the LED strips, but they dim or they change color, and it never looked right.
So if ever I was gonna change my lighting, I would just get solid white. But yeah, it's a major operation changing all the lights.
It's even door space is used, isn't it?
Yeah, back of the door. Yeah,
I love those Terrorhawks cards.
Yeah.
So I've put my pictures behind the door, because obviously you can't put shelves behind the door, because obviously you've got to open it. But yeah, no, that works like too. That worked in a bit.
That's so good, man.
Yeah, mint. Some great stuff, isn't there? But again, you see these on the back of people's screens, and it's when you actually go around to the house and you see it all, you get quite overwhelmed, don't you? Like, holy shit, look at all this. And it does take you back to a time that was brilliant, wasn't it?
You always notice stuff, especially with yourselves, like the majority of you on here make videos as well as live streams, and there's things on here when you do stuff like this that you notice that you haven't made videos on, or you haven't. Do you see what I mean? That I didn't know Luke had that, if you will.
Yeah.
See, that's a bit random. Land shark in between 2 Star Wars toys.
Mint, love that Joker van.
Yeah, the Joker van and the Punisher van, yeah. That's under my bed. So it's like a cabin bed, and I've just got stuff stored under there. And
yeah, mint.
Yeah, I love the light up logos you've got as well, Luke.
Yeah.
On the shells.
They come from Etsy. Rachel tends to get me one on birthdays and Christmas. Yeah.
Need those duvet covers. That's bringing them back.
Yeah, they're good, aren't they?
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
I just done that with Hot Wheels as well, with the pegs and stuff on it. That's really good idea.
Yeah, you can put quite a lot on them. So
I never knew you had those Terrorhawks cards. Never knew that.
Yeah. Well, I got them. Again, Vinted. A lot of people don't tend to use Vinted for looking for toys. And I just found a job lot of Terrorhawk stuff for a really good price. So I picked them up, sold off what I didn't want, and sort of pretty much got them in my collection for free. I need one more. I haven't got Mary Faulkner on.
Yeah, I was going to say you're missing Mary Faulkner.
Yeah, she's a nightmare to get.
Centurions, Sectars, Infaceables. They're Infaceables on the top.
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Rambo, Brave Star. Brilliant. That looks awesome. That looks really good.
Yeah.
I've got to admit, I like my art corner. I've got other pictures, but I've got to admit, I do like my little art corner, and my Star Wars checklist at the top there.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. So there's Luke's. And are you happy with it, the way it looks then?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, there is a couple of areas of the room where I feel look a bit busy now, because obviously everything's got to stay in this room, and there are some shelves I think just look like there's just a bit too much on them, but it's got to go out, and I just try to still make it look as attractive as I possibly can, even if I think some shelves are a little bit overloaded now. I mean, Mask behind me, I think my Mask shelf is overloaded, but I just try to make it look as attractive as possible, because for me that's the main thing. I want to get as much stuff as I want out, but I don't want to sacrifice attractiveness, if that makes. I don't want it to just look like I've just chucked everything on the shelf and just try to get as much on there as possible, despite it being pleasing on the eye, sort of thing.
Well, there's a nice like window dressing for shops.
But
There's a nice display. Yeah.
Hey, David. Jesse's here. Wow, everybody's
saying, the way you have them angled really stand out.
Yeah, and that creates a bit of space as well for that. So if you angle them slightly, you can overlap them a little bit, like Constantina and so.
What a fantastic collection! And Luke doesn't even collect most of them. Yeah. Hey, Craig, good to see you, pal. Love the stickers on the storage boxes. That's a great idea.
Yeah, I did that because I don't like see-through boxes because they look messy. Even though you can then see what's in them, I think they look untidy. So I thought if I get solid boxes and then sticker them up, I know what's in them and I don't have to. Yeah.
I mean, running out of space. So let's talk about space for a sec. Would that stop you buying? It wouldn't, would it?
No.
Already. Let's be fair. I heard 2 years ago, everyone's saying the same thing. No space, not buying anything big, can't fit it in, and then everybody rushed out and bought the Ghost. So really, I think it's what your heart desires, isn't it? That if you really want it, you're going to get it no matter what. Because we don't think of that space logic, do we? Really?
I've ordered the Cantina. I've got no idea where I'm going to put it. I'll just sort it out when it arrives. I'll figure it out.
So, to use a Toy Federation quote, stack the cart. learn how to pull it later. You know,
nice.
that's all I think. Just buy what you want. Figure out where it's going to go once you've got it. And I know it's not the best way to do it, but that's how I look at it now. Because at the end of the day, space is not going to stop us. It won't.
But has it stopped you? I mean, I'll give you an example. Has there ever been for any of you something that big you just thought, I just can't buy it because I've got nowhere to put it?
No.
I mean, price is what stops me from buying something. No matter how big something is, if I want it, I'll just buy it and I'll figure it out once I've got it. The hive. One day I hope to own the hive. It's massive. It won't go anywhere in here, but I don't care. In my head, I just think, get it here, and then figure out how to accommodate it once you've got it.
And it is huge too. Yeah, I went to Joe. There was Joe Fest. They had 2 or 3 of them. Not this year, the year before. And to see it in real life, you're like, wow, man, this thing is massive. It's huge, that toy thing. Got to admit, space does actually help stop me buying, Andy, apart from cantinas. Yeah. I have empty bins, so if I were to buy more stuff, I would rotate stuff around. Yeah, that makes sense. Because, I did that. I put loads of stuff in storage, but I'm never going to pull it back out again. It was things like, when the Force Awakens came out, all those 5 POAs and stuff. But I haven't got the thing like, because our Jen said to me, do you want to just sell it all up? And I never really thought about it, but she's like, but you're never going to put it out again. And I think the way we display and the way, how many of these have evolved really from the stuff you collect? You move on to other stuff, don't you? You see what other people have and you get into that. So have you ever done that yourselves where you've got so much in storage? Dave, have you?
I've never sold anything.
So you keep everything, you just keep it all in storage.
Yeah. You've never sold one thing, Dave?
The only things I sell are things that I picked up from a car boot years ago, or I give away stuff. Otherwise, I just buy, and my storage area is getting bigger and bigger. Because there's a rule in this house, which is 1 room for display. This stuff can't creep out into the rest of the house.
Same
what's on display but the storage is creeping. It's crept into my son's room. It's in the cupboards and stuff. And I would love to rotate, but it just takes so long, and I haven't got the time to rotate stuff all the time. So I've got ideas in my head. I've talked to Luke about this and what I'd love to do in the future. So I'm still buying because I have a grand plan, but I don't know if I'll ever get there. So we'll see. But it doesn't stop me because there was a time when it stopped me. I wouldn't buy play sets. So I wouldn't buy play sets because I just thought I've got nowhere to put them. But that's now gone. So I do buy play sets and they get stored away, like Karate Kid and all that kind of stuff. I'm now buying because there are certain lines where I just like, you know what, I need to, if I want to complete it, I really need those play sets. And at some point, the play set's going to make a massive display piece for all the figures. So no, it's not stopping me from buying.
Gary Moore says, same rule here, VTR. My holding room is massive.
Yeah, exactly.
But my last place, I lived by them rules as well. I didn't like anything out of the 1 room. I was just funny about that. I think the only thing I had was a lenticular Star Wars poster in the hallway as you went up the stairs. I didn't like anything downstairs or anything in the back room, or absolutely nothing. I just like maybe that's a bit OCD of me, but I like the whole lot in there, do you know? How do you feel about that most years? Does it bother you if things go out your rooms? Or
I was going to say, so you better not come around here, mate. You'd hate it.
Well, I understand with you because, like you said, your stuff, like you said, you've got your room, but it's there collected how much you've bought, and now it's the space fridge, you know. So it's not stopping you buying it, but so not even the space is stopping you. So for that reason, does it not bother you then? Like it goes in the front room and Georgie collects as well.
Well, that's the big help. That is a massive help that Georgie collects as well. So she's been absolutely awesome. So, but I ideally I would like 1 or 2 rooms just to keep the collection in, but they'd have to be big rooms though. That's the thing. So
a big warehouse.
A big warehouse. Yeah.
What about you, Martin? Is it all around your house, or is it just in that 1 room?
No, I mean, if you came into the house and this door was closed, and with the exception of obviously Steph's now got a collecting room, but if you were to close those 2 doors, you wouldn't know there was anything pop culture-y in the house. But part of me would love to have what Stu has and Georgie, but the other part of me also loves the fact that I've got this room to escape to and close the door, and I can just be with my thoughts, in my Star Wars room, and just to go back on you know, yes, predominantly it's 99% of what's in here is either vintage Kenner or TVC. I have an entire garage with, you know, at least 15 80-litre tubs full of other Star Wars stuff that I can't display, and it kills me. It absolutely kills me that I've got all this lovely stuff that I can't have out. So I have started to sell parts of it off, because I feel like if I can't have it out to enjoy it, then someone else should have the chance to do it.
That's the way I'm looking at it, Martyn.
Yeah. Because what good is it sitting in a garage in a sealed tub? It might as well, you know, it might as well get me a bit of money to buy more of this stuff that I do want to display. Not that there's any space left in here, but also it then gets to somebody else who does collect those lines. And you know, just like Dave, you know, I try and gift stuff to people as well, because it's always great to try and help other collectors out, you know, with stuff that they need. But yeah, no, going back to the original question, yes, it is nice to have just the one room, I think, personally, anyway.
I think it gets too much, though, as well. The way I work it out is if you had it in every... It's like Super Awesome. He's got like 2 houses full of stuff. Do you know what I mean? You know, I'm like... Well, I've got a bit of OCD about... And if you've noticed as well with people's rooms, look how neat and tidy everybody's room is. Everything's put away and everything's nice. And I think I have that thing. I think if I had too many rooms or too much, I don't know. It drive me mental, I suppose, because for what you just said, I like coming in here.
That's a mess.
It's like your sanctuary, in it. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
if you had like 5
absolutely is. Yeah, absolutely is. I mean, just to reiterate what Martyn said, I also very much like the idea of just coming in here, shutting the door, and it's sort of my little space where I can sort of switch off or whatever. I think even though we've got this rule that everything has to stay in this room, I don't think I'd want anything anywhere else in the house. Me and Dave have had a similar conversation with this before, that if it was anywhere else in the house, other people can occupy that space. Nobody comes in here generally. So when the door's shut, I know everything's safe. Whereas if I had things out in the room, in the hallway, other people occupy. And I was like, people will touch stuff, they'll pick things up, things might get knocked over. I wouldn't feel the stuff is safe. So I kind of like the fact that it's all contained in here, because generally it's only me that comes in here, generally. You know, so whereas if stuff was out in other places in the house, I'd be frightened to death. I'd be at work thinking, is something going to get knocked over? Am I going to go back and there's going to be something on the floor or something missing?
It's weird because we are anal about plastic and cardboard, aren't we? We are. You know,
I don't like the idea of being away from my stuff. So, for example, Dave, again, going back to what Dave said, I don't want to sort of say your grand plan, Dave, if you don't want it saying, but I don't like the idea of being away from my things, if that makes sense. Do you know what I mean? If there was somewhere else in storage or in another house, another room elsewhere, the idea of being away from them sends me a bit. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does, because we all grew up with younger siblings and we all feared that they would touch our toys. So it's probably just carried into adulthood where we don't want our wives to put them away where we can't find them.
Red 5 asks, is there a hope that the stuff in storage will make it out one? But that's the thing. I think everything I've put away is because I don't want it on display. So what am I keeping it for? Exactly what I thought what Martyn's just said. You know, sometimes you have to say to yourself, don't you, if you're never going to put it out again, and it doesn't mean as much to you now. Do you know what I mean?
So,
what's the
point
with
that? I'm taking you don't rotate then. I mean, I rotate, as you know. I mean, I've rotated loads and loads of times because I've got I've got a lot of nice stuff. So I like to change things up every now and again. So I do rotate every now and again. There's only one lot of stuff that's safe, and that's the vintage Star Wars stuff. That will never get put into storage. That's going to stay out. That will be there forever. So I base everything around that. But everything else, like what you see behind me now, one day I could just turn around and say, well, that's it. Okay, that's going into storage. I'm going to get something else and put that on display and stuff like that. But one day I would like to get to a point where I don't have to keep chopping and changing around, and it can be out on display and stay out on display. So everything that I've got in storage will one day be out on display as well.
So do you have a certain time then? Do you say 6 months for this, then I'm going to do the other half of the year?
Shabby, I get bored so quick. I change the room around, and then 3 or 4 days later, I'm looking at it again, going, "What can I do next?" It's mental. It really is. It's but yeah, I quite happy change things around every month, but I just can't be asked because I'm lazy. So I do leave it a good few weeks.
It says there is a YouTube sensation that he's tub. Well, yeah, tub thumpers. But Si's idea was because of that. Because when Si went up and he had the plumbers in and he had all his stuff in storage, he'd realised, and some of the stuff there. This is why it was interesting to see how many times you actually rotate your stuff. Because obviously Si didn't. And he found these tubs and the stuff in there from we were kids. And like, wow, I didn't realise we still had that, and just came up with the idea of tub thumpers through that.
I think to go to Martyn's point, I think it depends how long you've had it in storage for. You know, there's the saying with clothes saying if you don't wear anything within a year, you're not going to wear it. And I think that maybe goes with your tubs and what's in them as well. That if you haven't displayed them within a year and they just keep staying away, and you might as well sell that sort of stuff, haven't you, and get the stuff that you really wanted, that you're going to put out, you're going to display. But sometimes I think that psychologically, does a display room split that we're either hoarders or collectors rule?
Oh, good question,
I think a display room is a collector's room. I don't think that would be classed as hoarders. Hoarders is something where you've got like boxes and boxes and stuff, a bit like me, really. In the other room. So I kind of like, I guess I'm both. I swing both ways. So I do hoard a lot of stuff. But then again, I also have a lot of stuff on display as well that I want to show people and stuff like that.
Conor laughing.
What's the matter with you, Conor?
I think there was a joke in there somewhere.
Martyn's talking about getting it out and swinging it
swinging both ways.
Gary Moore, I heard that, Stu.
We're all modern. You know what, Conor? In school, you had humour amazing.
Wait to the sis says, I'm with Si. Once something gets put away and not on display, it usually ends up getting sold off. And I think that's what I
don't mean the stuff you want to keep. I mean, obviously, we've all got stuff that's precious to you in your collections that you really do love, that you want to keep, that is worth a bit of money. We all know that. I don't mean them sort of things that's put away. I mean, like these boundaries of figures that you've got, and they've never been out. They've never seen the light of day. You never liked the films, so you never put them out or anything like that. And maybe it's just worth that sort of thing just getting rid of. But again, I suppose the hoarder in us doesn't like. And with Dave, apart from 2 lightsabers, I've never sold anything. I mean, literally nothing. You know, I've kept everything from key rings, receipts, rubbers. I've saved everything.
I think it's a fair point that you might argue we teeter on hoarding to a degree, but overall, I think. For me, and probably a lot of people in the position that have a full house with kids and everything else, the dream is to one day get it on display. You know, my kids will grow up and leave, I hope. And, the dream is that one day I'll have all the shelves. And I suppose that's what I live for.
Q said, when I was working in Houston, I had to leave my entire collection back at my old apartment. I was 6 hours away. It always made me anxious being away from the collection. It just makes you think, doesn't it? I think the difference between a hoarder and a collector, says Jonathan, is having a chair for
See, that's another. I've got to find room for another person in my collection. Another person's coming.
Craig says, toy card backs and boxes take up a lot of space, but I haven't got so much nostalgia for the vintage images. It can be challenging displaying both at times, but there's a thing too, and you'll notice it in ours. Well, some of us are in box collectors, so I'm both. There's some things I'll keep in boxes, there's some I won't. That is challenging, isn't it? Because when you've got a huge box, whatever, but it's the artwork which we all appreciate and so forth. So, Craig, on a good thing. What do you think to that?
Yeah,
well, I agree with that because I take things out of the packaging. So even though I've got issues with space, I don't have as much issues with sort of like carded and box collectors because you just takes up more room. I can stick a load of my figures in the bags and stick them in a drawer. To take them out sort of like as and when I need them. So
you build your cards and boxes then, Delvian?
Do you know what? I used to keep them for a while, but now I've recycled all the cards. The only packaging I've really kept is the HasLabs packaging, and actually they're wedged behind. They're wedged behind my bed at the moment.
Well, now on to Delvian. I've got Delvian's collection room right here. So this is our Delvian's collection room. I mean, that looks cool, man.
Wow.
Oh wow, that looks great at the back with the
So your shells or whatever right there, how did you come up with this idea for these type of shells?
They were cheap, and
Yeah.
I didn't need them. I didn't want, because it's not a big room, so they couldn't be too deep. So they're about 30 centimeters, sort of like deep, the shelves. But I knew I wanted sort of like very specific sort of scenes and stuff.
Yeah.
So the way I collect is I don't have boxes sort of like out really. I take figures out and I try and sort of just recreate scenes or
I've got pictures of that, and
environments.
some of those scenes you've done are brilliant. So there's the room right there. I mean, look at that.
That
That
is
is
superb.
I mean,
That's
that's
cool.
Out of this world.
So you make all these?
And
I mean, I know
dioramas are
I know we know, but for people that don't know, do you make all these?
Yeah, that one. See, that. Believe it or not, that one's not actually off a specific sort of like scene. That was just, I just want to kind of create something a bit different. And actually, that's not all Star Wars, and you can probably see there's TARDIS in the background there. And there's a Jawa selling there's a Jawa selling a Dalek as well. So, but I wanted to create a little bit of a Star Wars underworld sort of like scene. So, and actually some of it is just like bits of foam and stick on sort of gems for the rivets and things like that. And I had a great time making that.
It looks super cool. Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh wow. Yeah.
So I mean, that's had a few iterations sort of over the years. I'm not entirely happy with that one yet, but it's closer to where it needs to be. But I started off making stuff trying to think, right, it needs to be exactly like it is in the film, but I can't do it. So it's just a close representation, and it's just a way of displaying the figures, really. So,
but well, I mean, immediately we all knew.
Did the Death Star hologram, did that go to figure?
Say that again, Connor.
The Death Star hologram, did that come with a figure or a set, or did you make that?
No, the little Death Star that came with a figure. That was an old, I think it might have been a Power of the Force figure, actually, of one of the droids.
Oh, looks awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. The Death Star walls, the backing walls look great.
Yeah.
Strange enough, they're all going to go soon, actually, because I'm going to redo quite a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So your shelves really a full diorama displayed, aren't they?
Yeah, most of the time. Things like that, though. So some of it's sort of like scenes, but I mean, a bit further down, there's like the Sith and there's a Jedi temple there. And that was just a way of just showing off those particular figures. It was just an environment, really. So, yeah,
the colour that you've used, Delvin, like, you know, obviously, if you were to use white shelves, it wouldn't work as well, would it? The fact that you've used the sort of dark wood suits the display, doesn't it?
I'm kind of a dark wood person anyway, but it is a bit of a nightmare for dusting, I'm not going to lie. So
just blow on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great. These are fantastic, Delvin. Absolutely fantastic.
And some of the dioramas I created, some of them I'm getting into 3D printing now. So, and I don't 3D print. I buy it from someone else. So
good.
Yeah,
works really well.
Just like, see, for me as well, it's sort of like a lot of you sort of collect larger scales. I collect sort of 3 3/4 inch scale. I've only got a few 6-inch sort of like figures, but I mean that scale lends itself very well for stuff like this, and it's just how I like to display them. You can see there's a 2 Tatooine one. That one I created. You can see on the scene. The one before that's Hasbro's attempt. So I'm not quite sure which one I prefer more yet.
Did you teabag it, Delvian?
Oh,
no, I see. I don't use tea bags for my washes. I actually use paint washes. So yeah.
Wow,
that one's not finished. It's interesting what you were saying earlier around sort of like changing stuff around. Because the room's never finished. It's like painting the 4th bridge. It's sort of like even when you get to the end, you just got to start all over again. Yeah. And changing things over. So it's constantly evolving. And there's little bits of it that I just kind of think, I don't want it to finish. I don't want it to end. Because if I get to that point where I just kind of think, well, it's all done now. It's sort of, I like changing things up and sort of like just creating something new for it. So that will be different at some point. This one.
So it kind of sounds like it's therapeutic to you too. Like it's a nice, relaxing thing where you just sit down with your hobby and, you know.
Quite honestly, now the collecting is one part of it, but the making the space to go with it is like another big part of it now. I really enjoy it. The Jabba's throne, that was the first diorama I ever made. So, and I got the new Jabba set from Hasbro, and technically it looks better the new, but I still preferred that one because it displays the figures better. So, and that's not finished.
That's fantastic. That's amazing.
I think that's one of my favorites.
That's awesome.
Oh wow.
Awesome.
So I tried to recreate a bit of a Sith temple. So, but once again, that's not from a specific scene. It's just I just wanted something just.
You've got some rarities there, though. You've got obviously Kate Skywalker's there. You've got Plagueis that's opened. As soon as I saw that, open, I thought, what's he done?
I know. I opened everything, pretty much.
I'm surprised you not got Plagueis peering out from a cave. You know what I mean? But you'd have gone for that look.
Look at that.
That's incredible.
Cool.
Wow.
Yeah.
So my dilemma will come when that cantina arrives. Do I use the new cantina or do I use my old cantina? So I haven't decided yet.
It just goes to show that when you've got a talent like this, because I know there's a few lads in ours that that customize and make stuff.
For sure.
It's like I don't know whether you know Daniel Chart. Some of the stuff Daniel Chart makes for his 3/4 inch are fantastic, and I love this. I prefer this sort of thing. It's nice to go out and buy it. Don't get me wrong, and they do look good. But do you think this is more personal to you than the HasLab Cantina will be?
That one will be, because that's the second time I've done a cantina. The first time it was all right, but and this still isn't perfect. I'm not an expert. It's like Daniel Chart's absolutely fantastic. When Keith did the live stream the other week, that was really inspiring. I did raise platforms at the back, so it was more around displaying the figures. So it's not completely accurate to the space. So, but when the new cantina comes, I don't know. I think I'll probably take that off, put the new one in, see what it looks like, and I'll probably change it back. So,
look at that.
Yeah,
so good.
And that's the same where I was just saying about not selling anything. I don't sell anything, and that's the only one thing that I've ever sold.
Well, you did have two of them.
Oh, of course. Yeah. You sold it to Des, didn't you?
So, and I don't sell anything. I keep everything. So,
I suppose that's sort of selling those different, isn't it? Because what you sold is going to a very good home, just like yours is for Star Wars and collecting. And I think that sort of softens a deal like that, doesn't it?
So, yeah, there we go. That's my interpretation of Jeddah. There's 24. So I just like, it's just like key scenes. So, and I think you should have the Endor one as well at some point. So
that's cool.
Yeah, that is cool.
Oh, that's awesome.
I'm going to redo sort of. See, this is that's the
Jabba
temple.
My favorite one. That's incredible.
Yeah. Wow,
that's midnight, isn't it? Yeah, that's really cool.
So that one,
you see your shells, it's brilliant.
So I mean, that's from like that Jedi Survivor game. I just quite like the style of the temples and that, and I just thought, okay, I'm going to try and recreate that. And it's just all steps in there, so I can just show the figures off.
You've even managed to make one of those holograms look like it's an actual hologram.
Hello.
Yeah.
And the beauty of it is that little sort of like tap light is actually got a bit of a flicker on it as well, so it actually flickers like a hologram.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Nice.
Look at that.
Brilliant.
The trees are actually made out of Pringles tubes.
Wow.
Cheese and onion.
Ready salted cheese and onion sour cream, yeah. So just some air drying clay, and this is top shelf is like my only black series I have on display, and then the bottom shelf is like you were saying earlier, like everything else.
Yeah. I think everyone always ends up with a random shelf.
Yeah, that's true.
It's on that though. That's awesome.
So that's kind of a work in progress, and you can actually see in the middle shelf there the white, or the black triangle.
Cool.
That's one I'm working on at the moment. So that's a work in progress, sort of cabinet.
Brilliant. And you still got all that space on the wall at the back, haven't you? So
yeah, I think I'm going to stick some autographs on there actually, and some sort of like artwork on there.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh,
I like that one as well. That's pretty. That's good. Cool.
That's a placeholder one. But it's. I mean, I got 3D printing for some of that stuff, and actually, there's a bit in the background that's something that Conor gave me at NEC. So we try and make use of everything.
oh yeah. I love Death Star computer one that they got. That's amazing. I was looking at the 6-inch. Definitely something I'd be interested in.
Yeah, I wanted to, because let's face it, in the vintage collection they produced so many Mandalorian figures. I needed somewhere to put them all. So
best spin, it's just superb. Yeah. I like that we got Luke at the back there on the stairs.
I don't know if you noticed on the barge as well, but Chewbacca's doing like the old Titanic rose sort of thing right in the front.
That's cool. Jedi Survivor, isn't it? That one.
Yeah, and that's a wampa that I painted up to make it look like a jungle wampa. That was difficult.
Superb.
Oh yeah.
So what are these boxes here, Delves?
So that's a combination of just sort of like foam board. I printed off some there's this diorama workshop or something he had some like sheets you could print off, and I just sort of stuck it on. But that's temporary. Strange enough, actually, I took the photos for this week, but this week I'm changing that display over because I've got that I've got a different set now. I'm going to move some things around. So that's just saying, it never ends. This is like what it is at the moment, but it's going to change in the next week or so.
Absolutely brilliant. Biker says, when I go away on holiday, I always get anxious about my collection. Yeah. The thing that takes up most of my room in my collection is me.
Yeah, ditto.
I can carry more domino rally weight. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, it's a great display, isn't it, Red 5? Brilliant.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Andy, when can I move in? Says, oh, he's got a Toshi station. Look at that. I like the silhouette. Brilliant. Yeah. The what is it? The Twi'lek girl you've got in there. Superb. The way you display your collection is amazing, Delvin. The displays give your collection a whole different vibe. Yeah, that's what I mean. We've seen two people so far. Yeah. And you'll see as we go along all the differences of these collections. It's superb. Yeah, I'm personally a fan of dioramas. I haven't got the. It's funny that because I make furniture and solver, but I haven't got the talent. Like I said that to Keith when he was on to do stuff like that.
See, I can't believe that, Shabby. I really can't.
No, I can't.
You know, it's
I can.
That's amazing. That's pretty much how all my displays are, only for 6-inch though. Yeah. Hey, Win says hello, you lovely jubbly guys. I'm under the weather at the moment with awful stomach. Well, thanks for that.
Thanks, Win.
Well, we're glad you're here. I hope you're feeling better soon, Win.
Yeah.
My son left home 4 years ago. He's a good lad, just in case we all thought. Just in case what happened? I transformed his old room into my man cave. He came home last weekend to celebrate his birthday, and he joked about coming old. I told him to wear. Oh, brilliant!
Can I just say, Craig has got an exceptional collection himself and a great collection room. I'm hoping to showcase it on the channel at some point for him. But he's got a brilliant collection, yeah.
That's awesome. And his displays are outstanding, but I reckon he needs some more Gamorrean cards. That's your favourite, though, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Gamorrean cards. I'd get another 13 if I could.
Steve's is as well. We've all seen pictures of Lord Milvarder's room, and that is packed. He says, my current room is starting to get full, but I will never sell anything because I bought it to display and enjoy, so I'm moving rooms. So let me ask you all a question. Have any of you thought of doing what Delvin's done then? Doing them sort of, you know.
Yeah, I've done a couple myself. I've done the what's it called? The Streets of Tatooine one. I've done the Hoth an Echo Base one, and I did what else have I done? The Luke Homestead one, the last Homestead. So yeah, I've done a couple of dioramas myself.
I obviously haven't, but before I give up all this collecting lark, it is one of my biggest ambitions to have a diorama recreating the landing of the Emperor on the second Death Star, Return of the Jedi, and have all those stormtroopers and Imperials all lined up with the Emperor, coming off the shuttle.
It's like, who is it? Isn't it? Is it Anthony at
ID4? Is it? He did it at Echo. No,
Imperial Communique something. What channel is that? Yeah. He has all. It looks brilliant.
I'd love to have that someday. That would be my dream.
That is insane.
Sorry, pal. He said, I'll send you a piece of my crappy artwork for your wall. Go on, Si, what were you saying, buddy?
The only one I'm going to build is that when we move, I've got a lot of horror figures. I like a lot of the old Universal monsters and stuff. So my plan is that when we move, I'm going to make my own haunted house for 6-inch figures. So I want a really big one with balconies and stuff, so I can put all these figures on it, So that'll be the one I probably do.
Do you do though, Conor, with your photography and so forth? Because you've seen the way so do you make the background stuff? It's not just all the visuals you do, is it? It's the stuff behind it.
Yeah. I was going to say originally when you asked the question, I made a great hot Rebel base back in January, but it melted. No, I tend to just buy the display sets. I just don't have the talent levels that Andy has, and some of the other, as you said, like the stuff that Daniel Chart does, and even some of the dioramas that Greg from Red 5 does, are just absolutely breathtaking. So
I'm not creative enough. I don't have the imagination, and even though I know you can look at scenes from movies and reference them, I'm not creative. I don't have that imagination, the ability to create things like that. I think it's so impressive when people do it.
But especially when they say I use old bottle tops and old things.
Yeah,
like,
Pringles tubes. I don't even think of it. Yeah,
but I'm not either though. But it's a good test of sort of like just engineered, just using things. So like that Sith display that I had, that's Jaffa cake boxes. Stacked up with like foam board over the top. It's sort of like you just reuse stuff.
Can I just say as well, we've got over 52 people in the chat, so thank you all very much. And thank you to all these people that have shared their collection rooms and come on and tell us the stories. That's brilliant. Would you like to see another person's?
Absolutely.
You might like this one. This one. So, let's have a look. This right here.
Ah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's mine.
That is absolutely brilliant. Look at that. I like the way you've done the smaller figures with the top ones too.
It's a mix.
The greatest figures of my childhood, I'll always say that and I'll stand by it. Action Man were the greatest. I loved them. It was so meant to play with.
Yeah.
Because that's the Series 1 Action Force, the smaller figures, and those were obviously shrunk down uniforms from Action Man. So I've tried to amongst the shelves match them up as well.
That makes you. I see it now. So the 12-inch with the 3/4 inch in front of him.
Yeah.
How impressive is that?
So everybody knows, everybody knows like the Red Shadows and all the Z Force and all those guys. But the Series 1 Action Force was miniaturized Action Man uniforms, the sort of most popular ones. So I love those Series 1. So I just mix them up amongst the Action Men display. And that's like, and there's some Red Shadows. There's Red Shadows.
That's amazing.
Wow, great. That's the original Roboskull, so nice.
But we've seen your videos and the way you talk. Like you'll find a book or you'll find a card, and that's your display in it that you'll put with these figures.
Yeah. Because I try to. So the reason I have annuals and stuff is to try and mix in like annuals, sort of as backdrops for the displays, and those wax packs. I kind of mix those in amongst the displays. Yeah, just to try and add a little bit of sort of graphic art to it all as well.
Yeah.
And I don't create the dioramas, but I try and create scenes with the figures. Yeah, that's the room going round. It's not a huge
They're a
room.
great red, aren't they? The red's beautiful, isn't it, on them?
Yeah,
it's proper red.
And that's at the end is the restoration station. So that's where all the restorations happen.
It still looks so good though.
Again, this was another room when I was honoured to have a look round that I just couldn't, like, you know, you just wanted to spend hours in there just getting Dave to tell you stories about each of the lines. It was just incredible.
Yeah, you have got some such unique pieces though, Dave, as well, haven't you? So
yeah, look at that. There's vintage Lego there. Awesome.
Yeah,
that's the original Lego sets, Star Wars Lego sets at the top there.
Yeah.
So Millennium Falcon, etc. That's the only place I display carded stuff. I find displaying carded items really tricky.
Yeah.
So I only have a few of them on the wall, and they're basically the ones I've had on that wall for years, and I've never changed them around.
So cool. But it's just what I mean. This is the third time now. We see roughly the same things we all collect, but how it's so displayed so differently. It's great.
I love the skydiving action man coming off the ceiling.
Yeah, so I like things off the ceiling. I don't care about hanging stuff off the ceiling. It's it's got the skydiver there. There's also the SES guy. Can you see him? Just
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. So
That's the thing, though. You have to watch these videos about 3 or 4 times because he's got so much different stuff in it. Did you notice the Pink Panther on top of the Hoth set? You know,
there's Pink Panther. Yeah.
It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
And there's an alien. That's the alien there, and then there's like Remco stuff, and you've got the Remco Universal Monsters just sort of sat there in the corner.
What are them on the Chew Gum Warriors? What are they?
Oh, I got them from the US quite recently. So they're from the 80s, and they're kind of Star Wars knockoffs, or very much inspired by Star Wars. But they're figures, and inside the figure is lots of chewing gum. So you can, like that bottom one is like a Darth Vader kind of knockoff. The top one's more of a sort of a droid, but inside was little sort of chewing gum that you could pull out of the figure. So chew gum warriors, whatever they're called, yeah.
Chew gum warriors.
Yeah. Some Star Wars a bit.
So there's the annuals in the pack.
Split them between Star Wars, Empire, Return, and then
that's what I've done on mine. Yeah, exactly the same thing.
And that shelf actually, that second shelf up is the emptiest shelf in my whole room, so I could actually use that for something else, perhaps.
Yeah.
But you've mixed in a couple of stand solos in there.
Yeah, there's some customs in there, some pro customs, some stand solos.
Next 17.
Next 17, yeah.
Amazing.
Let's mix them in. And this is the other side, so you can see stuff hanging off this side as well as Rambo bits there.
Rambo collection's crazy.
Titans there, some Micronauts.
Yeah, I love the Kraken. That's awesome.
Evil Knievel doing a jump hanging off a ceiling. And so this is more like 70s, 80s, early 70s stuff on that side, going up to 80s.
I hope that's E.T.'s finger at the top.
Yeah, E.T.'s fingers there, yeah. Expected credits in there.
For those that don't know, as well, Toy Overdose just did a brilliant video on Dave's collection.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah,
it was really interesting. It was really good. Sectars,
the spiders. Any spiders in there, Dave?
Yeah, a couple there. Yeah.
Yeah, nice one.
So a lot of these displays, I'd love to like the Karate Kid display is one shelf. Right, I don't even have the accessories out. I've got a few of the accessories. So this is a real lack of space at the moment. So that Karate Kid, I reckon the Karate Kid stuff could be a whole cabinet on its own.
Yeah,
but it's all packed away. It's crazy.
Does it annoy you that? Does it annoy you as well? Because you're like,
a little bit. Yeah, like the Rambo's the same thing. A lot of it's just not on display. I'd love to have the Rambo headquarters out with all those figures and vehicles and flying stuff just all around it as a real kind of centerpiece display. It'd be awesome. But I just don't have the space to and this is the problem, right? So all these shelves are full of bags of other lines that are just not on display. And it's just crazy. So that's the hoarder part.
That is brilliant.
That's behind the scenes.
Just look at the way it's all put away, everything around, not just thrown in,
Yeah, it's wrapped. There must be maybe, I don't know, 10 different lines just in those 2 shelves that I just haven't got on the show.
Wow.
Like over the top stuff and that. So that is frustrating. And this is under my son's bed. It's just stuff that it's just stuff that I need to somehow get on display. Like the June, I've collected June. It will make an awesome display, but I've yet to put it on display. So,
is that June there? This big orange and cream thing?
Yeah, that's the Scout, the Spy Scout.
Yeah, even the indie line has got loads of diet play sets as well, hasn't it?
Yeah.
So
this is my middle bit where I just store all the stuff I haven't really sorted out yet.
It's your in tray
with shelves of stuff that just hasn't come out. Oh, yeah, Computer Warriors, another line I just haven't. That would make an awesome display as well, and I just haven't got it on display yet. It's really so that is annoying, but it's something to look forward to.
Yeah, that's a good use. That's what I've just done with mine. Replaced my couch and put a table in the middle of it. Yeah. And I think that's a good idea to do because you can walk all the way around your room still, but it gives you more.
Yeah. So I will.
Blue Thunder
somehow.
Beautiful, Dave.
Yeah, look at the 18 Corvette just right there.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
That's kind of my random shelf. That's my random shelf of 80s legends, basically. So Terminator, RoboCop, Michael Knight, Automan,
Mask at the top,
Street Hawk,
yeah,
Police Academy. It's just like 80s random shelf.
Man,
I mean, look at that. That's just superb.
Yeah.
But the thing is now that's too crowded now, and I've got a lot of stuff's now. Even the Bond stuff there's a collection of stuff that isn't on display. That is frustrating me. I'd love to get the Bond stuff out, and also I have an art folder full of posters and artwork and kind of literature stuff, which I'd love to get on walls, but there's no wall space.
Yeah.
So I'm really jealous of the guys in America that have a basement that just that's sort of spread across the whole of the
absolutely.
I see you got Simon, the Saints car as well there, right in the middle.
Yeah.
Great collection.
Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
So although there's no diorama there, I try to sort of display it in a way that is more interesting than just they're just figures on a shelf.
I think that because of the nature of the display, the glass sort of like shelves, the way it's also it's got a really strong. It's almost like it's curated. It's like a museum feel to it.
Yeah,
I mean that in a complimentary way.
Yeah.
And I imagine when sort of people come around and visit, you almost give tours around the room, explaining the stories behind stuff.
But I think that's the way we all do it, isn't it? It's either a toy shop display we want or a museum display, isn't it? I think that's what we all aim for, don't we? Something like that.
So this is the discussion I've been having with Luke. Luke thinks I'm slightly mad. But actually, I watched Super John's stream last night with Gus Lopez and Andy and Gary on there, which is great. And he was talking about setting up a museum, right? He was getting a few of the main Star Wars guys together, right? And they're going to combine their collections and put them in the museum. And I've talked to Luke about this many times. I really want to get the stuff out of my room and into a museum. That's where I want to be. And because I would be perfectly happy to have this room simplified and have a few key lines in there that would be really nice displays, and maybe I rotate them. And I'd love to just go around finding the stuff, researching it, restoring it, and then creating a new display in a museum somewhere. And that way, it's not just me that can see the stuff; it's everybody can go and look at it if they want to. Because I find it a little bit of a shame that it's only me that can come in here.
I think that sometimes, it's like a selfish kind of thing, isn't it? It's for us, this lot in our rooms, isn't it? So that's brilliant.
This is the Japanese corner.
Wow.
So a few Japanese bits, Micronauts, and just random old ballmark stuff, Popey stuff.
So good.
Yeah, I love all that. I love all the Japanese bits.
Right, now this is a shelf I'm interested in. I just love Tron, especially. I just think and that Mr. T variant.
Yeah, that's all the Rocky. Yeah, the Rocky figures, Phoenix Rocky, and then I've got the you notice in the back. See, this is what I like to do. Every now and then, I just sort of add a little bit behind the scenes, so that you see the single there is Survivor from Rocky.
Eye of the Tiger, yeah.
Yeah, Eye of the Tiger. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
Dave, can I just ask, those Tron figures with the accessories, are they original accessories?
Some are and some are repro.
I mean, I cannot find original or repro accessories for my Tron figures for love nor money. I cannot. I mean, at this point, I'd settle for repro ones because I just know that I'm not going to get original ones.
They're probably really. I mean, with 3D printers now, if I could find, there may well be some models, and I might be able to print some. But yeah, a while ago, a few years, maybe I don't know, 7-8 years ago, there were repro ones around, so I picked up a couple just to fill it out.
That's all.
Finding those accessories for Tron is really hard.
Red Fives Design says, lucky enough to see his collection in person, although these might have changed a bit since then, but great displays. Action Man. Yeah, I agree, Si. Action Man. Everybody loves the Action Man, don't they?
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah. Love the VAM stuff, Dave. What's the VAM
Vintage
stuff?
Action Man.
Vintage Action. Thank you. Right, the 12-inch from Moonraker. Dave's room has always looked awesome. By the way, there's a little hell picture out.
Can I just clarify?
Is they on the streets at the moment, by any chance?
I don't think VTR's idea is crazy as far as, obviously, it's a very, very nice idea.
Why do you hate VTR, Luke? Why do you hate it?
I love the idea of other people being able to go and look at it. What sends me catatonic is the idea of my stuff being so far away from me and that I'm not there and I can't keep an eye on it and I can't. It's just that idea. It just sent it. There's no way I could do it. I think it's a lovely way to think of what to do with your collection. I couldn't do it though. The idea of
so it's away from you.
If you didn't watch the Gus Lopez stream with Super John and the guys, go and watch that because it's really inspiring. And everything he was talking about setting up a museum was exactly what I was thinking. It was like, what happens to all this stuff when you get older? What are you going to do with it all, basically? And that's part of it. It's like, you know what? If I could get that into a museum with and it could be a bigger space, amazing displays, the public can go and see it. It can live on, right? And so that's part of the thinking. But there's all sorts of reasons why actually I'd rather get it out of here. I can still collect. I can buy as much stuff as I want and just stick it into a museum.
Well, someone in the chat's giving you a bit of advice. You know, I can.
Yeah.
Very good. Brilliant. Wow, the Blue Thunder chopper. Yeah, that's a recent pickup, isn't it, from you, David?
It is, yeah. And I picked it up and I got some new decals for it.
See that on Craig.
Really makes it shine, that does, the decals. Yeah.
He says it's okay, I suppose, VTR, but where are the gem figures, She-Ra dolls? Well, I mean, some people,
I'll leave that to that's Shabby's speciality. Leave that to him.
Ask him to show the Barbies. The room does not only hold action figures and dragons.
That's true. There are 3 Barbies in there.
Yeah.
They're not mine, I must add.
You know that we don't visit that museum, Dave. Hope you make that happen. Yeah. So somewhere within, like what Luke was saying, and what Luke said was a valid point, actually. Would it be in your vicinity then, Dave? Like you don't want it too far out? Or...
No, I wouldn't want it too far away because you want to be able to go and visit and change it around, add things to it. I don't know how it works. It's a crazy idea right now, but I don't know how to make it work.
But I tell you what, though, it's really, really big.
It's not a crazy idea to dream.
It's not.
And
yeah.
Look at that.
I mean, you'd get a lot of enjoyment out of it, of actually doing some tours, wouldn't you, Dave? I would imagine.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would. Yeah.
I mean, I couldn't do it. I couldn't put things in a museum knowing, like you, Dave, you'd do that, then you'd go in your room that night, it'd all be bare and empty. You'd go, what have I done?
No, it wouldn't be completely bare. I would have what I would do in here is have some key displays. So, for example, I would have like a huge Rambo display with the headquarters centers, in the center. So I'd have a few key displays and make them, sing with some posters and what have you in the room. A restoration station. I don't think that'd be sad.
No. For me, I was thinking to that point, but I think if I've still got it all, when I'm 70, I'll just sell the lot and just go on a cruise, go up Boom Boom Street one last time. Just do that to get rid of the lot.
Good old Tony goes, I'd pay museum prices to see size sex doll.
I've got something later on tonight that might just change all your minds about my action figure. It just might change your minds.
Yes, as well. I got a floor fan on the cool. Oh, here we go. He's like talking about his illness, was it? Hey, Gilster. Absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. Would you like to see somebody else's?
Yes, please.
Yeah. That's what we're here for.
This is another cool one too. I like this too. I like them all, to be honest. I'm a sucker for them, but this is really cool. And this is good because this changes. So you'll see as the pictures go how much it changes. But we're talking about our Martyns right here.
Oh, dear me.
Yeah, look at all that.
It's ridiculously good, isn't it?
This Dave was talking about versions. This is version 10. I've had this collection room for 5 years, and I don't know if Shabby's got the pictures, but
got him.
I sent Shabby all 10 versions of how it's changed over the last 5 years, and just as everybody was saying earlier, I cannot leave it alone because obviously you get a new 1 or 2 items and you change it ever so slightly, but it's always that way of how can you create more space. So I originally started off with bookshelves, and then I won't say copy, but I was inspired by Only One Kenobi in the way he puts his carded collections on nails on the wall. So I literally kitted out all 3 of the walls with nails. I hammered them all in really exactly, and then it came to about a year later and I was realizing actually I could probably do more if I put shelves up. So much to Steph's dismay, I took all of the nails out of the wall, and all those nail holes are still in the walls right now, but they're being covered up by the shelves.
That just looks superb.
Yeah, I mean, if that was I'd do it exactly that way. That would be the layout I would want. Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah, and I have to say I got a bit of inspiration from Stu when it came to those cabinets, because I never really wanted cabinets in the room, but I think you can see where I've started to dabble a little bit with loose collecting, only ever so slightly, but I have to say, that's probably from Stu and Delvian, and
we all do that though, Martyn. My room was inspired by VTR. I saw what VTR did with these things, and he put the light, and I thought, wow. And then obviously my lights were inspired by Scuba. Scuba got these pops and did it that way. So I think we all do that, don't we? We watch each other's things and see each other's collection room. Oh, that's a good idea. And so I would say definitely inspired.
Yeah, it's so great that we've got each other to sort of get ideas from. And so I mean, I'm really happy with it, and it's literally got to the point now where I can't change it. There is nothing more I can do to add any space.
I just think that wall there, where you've got that centerpiece of that. I'm assuming that's one of Drew Pegg's display cases. Is that right?
Yes, one of Drew's. Yeah,
I mean, the fact you've got that and then everything around, just it looks amazing for me. That
yellow really pops, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does.
So
I know. Sorry, everything grows out from it. Then is stunning.
Sorry, can you say that again, Conor?
Sorry, no, just the way the yellow cabinets in the center, then everything kind of grows out from it on the card. I think it looks really stunning.
Yeah, it is great.
Have you got all your TVC out there?
Every single TVC I own, except for the sequel trilogy TVC cards, are in that room. The sequel trilogy ones, I won't put those out if there's no space. But if I had the space, they would go out. But every TVC, I think I can say, with the exception of one item now, I have every TVC item that's ever been created.
Wow.
So
you're down to one.
Yeah, just the one, and it's one of those 3 special action figure 3-packs. That's all I need to get now, and then I've completed the collection. But I don't know if you flick to one of the pictures, you'll see along the floor there's a huge pile of stuff on one of the pictures. So we'll see down there to the bottom left, there's a huge pile of stuff there, and all of that is to be opened. That's all stuff that I'm gonna open and create a Jabba's Palace diorama. So
you're going to put like a table in the middle too, like myself and VTR have done. Do you know what I mean? Because you've got the space there, haven't you?
Well, to be honest with you, Shabby, when you asked for these photos and videos, quite a lot of stuff moved into the hallway outside to make it look like this all the time.
Can I just say, I did the same. Yeah, I cleared my floor.
It's like with dirty curtains. So you remember? Oh no, you can't show them. You gotta have make sure it's tight.
You're so fake. You're so fake, you two.
And that corner there, that's literally non-TVC, and that's the only. I mean, as I say, I've got all those boxes in the garage, but this is the stuff I wanted to keep out if possible because I love the Gendy Tartakovsky Clone Wars series carded figures, and Adam, my cousin Adam's got me into Astromechs massively, so I've started to collect Astromechs a lot more now.
That's right. You blame other people. You blame other people.
Yeah, exactly. It's all Adam's fault.
I blame you, Dave.
But
blame yourself. Blame yourself.
Yeah, I mean, you can see where I'm sitting now. You can see that in that window bay. I feel that's a massive wasted space in there, and I'm trying to persuade Steph that we should plasterboard all of that up because that's all windows.
Oh, good luck with that, mate.
I could get stuff on the wall there, but yeah, I mean, I'm really, really happy with it, but I do need a bigger room now because they're starting to pump stuff out quite frequently, as we all know, and it's going to become impossible for me to get everything out soon. So discussions are underway, let's just say that, about perhaps moving to a bigger room. I won't say any more than that.
I've got to say, I've been very lucky enough to visit Martyn's. I've been lucky enough to see VTR's collection as well, and they're both two totally different collection rooms, but they're both absolutely fantastic collection rooms. And me being a Star Wars fan, seeing this room, I was just like, wow, it's just incredible. And I know you were up there the other day, Delvian. I don't know what you thought.
I was just about to say, sort of like actually a very different sort of like style of display to what I have. I was absolutely blown away, sort of like by this room, mainly because it is so ordered, it is so structured, and you can see everything, and it's so tidy. My room's a bit of a shithole sometimes. so I try and keep it tidy, but it just doesn't work. So it's so nice to come in sort of like to a space like this. It's like, I could have something like this, but I never will.
Can I just say as well, we've got, I don't know whether you heard that lightning just sent severe thunderstorms over. So if I go or whatever, Si'll still be on. So don't worry if my electric goes and all that. So
can I just ask as well, though, Martyn?
Actually, my internet's terrible. I'm nice.
No, you're fine, Connor. You're fine.
I was just going to say, Martyn, are all those TVCs that you can see, are they all in acrylic cases as well?
They're not in acrylic. I keep all the special ones in acrylic, but they're all star cases.
Right.
You won't find anything in my room that's not in a case because
I was just going to say the amount of money you must have spent just in cases is must be crazy.
Actually, when TVC 1.0 came out, I don't know if people remember these. I don't know if you can bring me up large, Shabby, but does anyone remember these cases? They were proper Hasbro cases.
Oh, right.
They had the Rebel and Imperial insignias at the top. Well, I managed to actually buy, when the TVC finished, I managed to find someone online who had bulk boxes of them. And I managed to purchase about 2 or 3 of like 100, I think it was 100 per box, for an absolutely ridiculously cheap price.
Oh, wow.
So what I did was when I got all those, I sold them off for a lot more than I paid for them, which enabled me to buy the smaller star cases that I use now. And I did run out about a year ago. So from about a year ago, yes, it's become very expensive to buy them. But for the most part, I actually didn't really pay anything for them.
Well, it's a good way to do it, isn't it?
That's kind of a big. So what version is this then, with the details in it and the Star Wars?
This is probably like 4 or 5. I mean, you can see the arcade machine I've got in there. That's had to go in the garage.
It's a big room, that.
The camera lies, Shabby. It's not a big room, really. You see, that's how I really wanted it so the wall that's now got the cabinets along the bottom there on the left, I would have preferred to keep it just figures on the wall, but it became quite apparent that this was going to be impossible. So yeah. Now we're kind of at version 3. That's my only one Kenobi wall there. That was all nails in that wall.
So that's when it was all done like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Bollocks to that getting nails.
I'm quite proud of, look how straight and exact every single one of those. I was really proud of that when I did that.
Well, Jonathan Redmond's in the chat. He'll discuss whether that's straight or not. Do you know what I mean? That's brilliant.
And I think, so that's kind of, then you can see now it's reverting back to one of the original states where I had bookcases for everything, and I had to fan the card backs on the shelves rather than having them straight on.
Yeah.
But it became very apparent very quickly that those bookshelves weren't going to cut it.
I mean, cool, that one. I like it like that.
Yeah, it does look quite good in black. Now I'm looking at it in black and thinking, damn it, I wish I'd kept. I've got white.
See, I was thinking when you had it in white though, because all mine's black here, and I was like, the white looks pretty cool.
Yeah, but I changed from black to white shelves. I like the white. Yeah, so the white walls, white shelves. Yeah. That's where. Yeah, that was an experimental stage. See the pictures in the middle there behind the lamp.
Right.
Again, those 3 holes that were created to hang those pictures are still there on that wall as well behind me. So when and if I ever do move out of this room, it's going to look like someone's been in here, like Rambo's been in here with his M60, and he's.
How can you not more like Stu? Look at Stu. When Stu moves a shelf, he fills his hole straight in. It's painted straight back.
I'm old school.
Yeah. Oh no, I will do when one day when all my stuff moves out, I'll repaint it, decorate it, and everything. But I thought, well, it's going to be covered up anyway. No one's going to see it.
That's nice.
Don't worry about it, Matt. Don't worry about it, Matt. You don't have to justify yourself. Stu painted it the wrong colour.
Cheers for that look again, mate. Thank you.
Okay,
I like that one. Yeah, that's cool.
That looks good. That wow.
So what did you do with all these bookshelves?
Some of them went in the garage to put things on in the garage, and others I just got rid of. Probably went in a skip. That's the first ever iteration of the room. You can see, like, just top left, you can see like just poking out a first order stormtrooper helmet, but I don't talk about that. So yeah, I'm really happy with it. And, awesome.
All those figures begging to be opened.
when I saw Andy at the weekend, we were talking about Gamorrean guards, because we saw some Gamorrean guards at the toy fair that we went to. And he was saying, "Oh well, I saw the Gamorrean guards in your room. You could just open that one." And the thought of opening it made me feel a bit sick, to be honest with you. I couldn't do it.
I saw his eye twitch.
Look at Gary Moore. Look at all that empty ceiling. You got Stratty's getting out of the room. He's limited. Yeah, it is, Gilsty. You're right. And then Mando says, "Gary, that will change after he comes to mine on Friday."
Yeah.
Make it happen. Look at it. Martyn, are there TVCs in number order by film or series?
They're in film and series order. Chronological order, I would say. So, as much as I hate to admit, there are a couple of Acolyte figures in there. So that starts off the run.
What? I've got a couple of your Black Series. That's the thing. We'll sit there, slate the show, but go out and buy the toys.
I'm a completionist. It doesn't matter how crap the show is. I've got to have it. So,
Martyn's room is something else. That Vader bus looks epic. My cases are packed. When can I move in? BGM says you should all open a museum and charge Luke a fortune to get in, and everyone else can let you in for free. 55 in the chat. Wow, everyone stayed. It's brilliant. This, thank you so much. Sadly, I'm heading. Oh well, I've just said that. Hugh says, my collection is a mixture. I have Black Series mixed in with TVC and open figures mixed in with closed packages. It's that's exactly how mine is, exactly the same way as that. And then Chocolate Chips here. Evening room, fellas. Awesome room. Unfortunately, I still don't qualify for the collection room. But this is why it was happy to have Si and Conor on too, because I find that fascinating as well. Do you know what I mean? Where you keep your stuff and You know, I mean, you two can answer more than I can.
For me, all what I do is this: I get things in. I leave them hanging around for around a month, a few weeks, so I can look at them, stuff like that, see what I've bought. Then basically they get piled into a cardboard box, and then they're straight in the loft. And then you don't see light of day again. So in a lot of ways, I buy this stuff because one, you can miss out on certain stuff. Then it starts costing a bit more money later down the line. You know, I think we've all wished to God we'd have bought something when it first come out. Especially me with that, you know, the cell barge. I wish I'd have jumped on that at the very beginning, but now it's just way outpriced me. And I think it's more the case of that. I'm looking forward to moving and setting my room up and having these thoughts. And all this is inspiration to somebody, I think, starting off new. You know, when you're going to start off new. And
what a good idea.
Room,
what a good way to look at it, our side. So when you do get one, you're looking at other people's. And because, like I said, we've all said tonight, I think we've all agreed on that you take inspiration from each other. So, yeah. What about you, Conor?
Yeah, no, just that's my is store under me here because I just don't have the space. So, like Chocolate Chip was saying, just don't have the room. If only there was a show where you could show this stuff off.
we'll think of something. Martyn, we're all just a nail in the wall. The Big Lebowski, the room really. Yeah, why did you get rid of the rug? I thought the rug was pretty cool.
Yeah, well, Steph said we've got a rug and there's nowhere to go, and you know it meant I could get another shelf in, so I was like, oh, I'll put it in my room. So
I knew Redis would say something. Martyn's skills for displaying card backs perfectly proper impressive.
But his whole filling skills are proper dodgy.
So I have to explain the multiple holes in that room, or buyers will think he's invested with 20 minutes and you'll spackle it. I can fix that for you. There you are. Get Matt's collection round. He can sort that out for you.
Awesome.
Do you still
Can
have
I ask
the
you the question? Do you feel like you get more inspired of having your rooms looking like a shop, like the ones we used to go in as a kids, or like when you go into Leicester Vintage? Do you think that inspires you more? Or do you think it is looking at other people's collections that you see? Because for me, I like that shop look. I don't open anything. So when all my stuff goes on the shelves, like things, it's just going to be boxes and it's just going to look nice like that. Because I've always been the spots of like what somebody said before, the packagings are so outstanding now, this artwork on the way they look. Half of them are done as windows as it is. So I like just pulling it out, having a good look at everything on it, everything, then it back. So for me, I would say mine's going to be more looking shop like collection, if you'll have me.
See, I don't know. When I was a kid, I remember a lot of shops, they used to have like big displays in the shop windows. They were like big old diorama displays, sort of like all set up.
Yeah.
I remember things like that, and that probably inspired me a little bit.
I think what it is in my room, Si, is the thing that I love the most about the vintage collection is the fact they're remakes of or interpretations of the original Kenner card backs. And if I can't see the whole of the card back, that gets me down, because that's the reason I collect the line. It's not the figures. I hate to tell everybody, the figures they're important to me, but it's the image on the card back for me.
It's the package, it's the packaging, it's everything. Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Andy's here, Scooby's here. Look at the collection of this. Wow, everybody's turned up tonight. Should we have a look at one? Should we have a look at? We've got two more.
I was going to say something quite controversial, which is I don't like the shop look for a collection room. I'm not a fan.
Why? Why, Dave?
Well,
because he wants a museum.
Well, I'm surprised people want to shop in their house. I mean, most men don't like shopping, so why would you want to shop in your house?
I love shopping.
So I mean, I know it's the top of cool stuff, but I'm gonna get in trouble now. But but I don't. I've seen some displays, some collection rooms. Right, look, everyone has their own style. I'm not gonna dig into anyone. But for me personally, when I see a collection of, let's say, modern items, modern figures that are in their boxes still, that are just on shelves and stuff, for me, it does nothing for me. It's like
wow. What are you talking about, Dave?
No. Thanks for coming on, Dave.
It's my own personal opinion. It's just that just doesn't do anything for me.
I thought he was a nice man.
No, I just people will look at my collection and go, I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like the way that's set up, or why you've got everything loose. We all have our own ways of doing it. So for me, a shop look isn't something that I would go for.
No, I'd be of the same mind, Dave. And that's again, I don't have the space, but just I picked up one here that I have on my table, and I love posing the figure, trying to bring out, like, I know they look great in the boxes and the package and the size set, but if you can bring out the character of the figure, just make it animated or a bit of live looking, that's what I'd love. And I hope to one day, when the kids go, have a room with all them lined up on shelves, all in their own individual poses with whatever accessories they come at. So that would be my preference given the space.
DTM says, Dave, when can I move out?
I
don't disagree with Dave. I think the fact that I've seen, like, Luke's and Dez's and Dave's and everybody else who has loose collections is I genuinely see the artistry in having it on shelves, laid out the way they do them, and it's something that I would really, really love to do in the future, but it's the space, isn't it? I think is the problem.
I can see where Dave's coming from. I mean, I have a small section of the room that I have these. I mean, Adam's using them now. You've seen them. That the carded figures I've got, I've put some pegs up, like you might have seen in a shop, and so you can hook them on, and it looks like they're on the rails in a shop. And I have a small section above my TV, and I look and I go, that looks real great because it resembles that shop look, but it's only a small area. But I like to be able to pick my figures up and tinker with them and pose them and mess around with them. And if everything was in boxes, you lose that. I like something tangible. And whilst it's nice to have things in the packaging and things, because it's lasted that amount of time, and you can look at it and enjoy the packaging like we all did, I don't think there's any substitute from walking into your room, be able to pick a toy up and mess around with it and repose it, or just do you know what I mean? Change how it's displayed, how it stands, how it you might be able to put a figure in a vehicle and display the vehicle. I have really learned to appreciate my loose collection, whereas once upon a time, I think I would have sort of thought, if I can get carded figures and everything in boxes, I think I would. Now I don't think I would. It's nice to get a boxed one every so often and a carded figure or whatever, but I would always want my stuff loose now. I think
to me, it's a look where you're from when it comes to nostalgia too, because we are all, middle-aged men that have done this since we were kids, and we love the toys and we love the nostalgia and so forth from it. So for me, one of my favorite pastimes was massive toy shops, with rows and rows of toys and everything closed and all that sort of stuff. And when you go to places now, unless it's a specific toy shop, you don't get that anymore. And that's something I miss, you know what I mean? The toy shop kind of look, if you will.
I don't know if anyone else had this, but when I was growing up, we had the obvious, we had the Woolworths and things like that. I think we had a toy, I don't know, was it Toy Master? That might have been more recent than I'm thinking, but we definitely had our Woolworths, and that was our toy shop in a massive toy aisle. But we had a small independent toy shop in the town called Kirby's, and it was a family-run toy shop.
Right.
And what was great about Kirby's was you would walk in and they had all these racks and racks of toys on cards or whatever, but they always had, usually next to each display, probably not all of them because there was too many, but next to Star Wars they definitely had it, and next to Transformers they definitely had it. They had a little stand where they had a dozen loose Star Wars figures that you could go into the shop and mess around with. Transformers the same. They had some loose Transformers out for kids to, when they go in, you mess around with them. So you could try before you buy almost, play around with them and go, oh, I like this figure, or I like this Transformer, I'm going to buy that one. So there was like a play area. So even though they had carded stuff, they had loose stuff that you could play with. And I thought that was a great idea, So yeah, I've always liked the idea of being able to sort of mess around with the figures that are in the room. Yeah.
Kieran says it's okay, Dave. I'll take the heat off you.
Now everyone thinks I just hate their displays, but it's not that. It's just
it's not that. Listen, I've always just Martyn's. Yeah, people collect how they collect. They display how they display. You can only have an opinion.
Aren't we lucky that we get to see because people are kind enough to come on here and show us? We've got to see so many different variations of how you can display your collection, and as for someone like me that doesn't have the space, I'm after seeing multiple. Like everyone's been different. Like Luke's is a mixture. Dave's like a museum. Andy has his done out like all his personal dioramas. Martyn's trying to show off his artwork on the cards. So like, there's so many variation in each display. So we got to see it all tonight, which is I think fantastic.
Would you like to see another one?
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right, we've got 2 more to show, and then we got this one. That's cool.
Yeah.
Ah. Yeah, this is where the tragic happens. The magic. Some people say it's magic. Yeah. So when you said send photos of the display or the collection room, I just basically took photos of the collection room. So
well, that's exactly what we want. That's perfect.
Yeah. So I've got no close-ups, unfortunately. But yeah, so that's where I sit.
No, it's not about the actual toys that are on it, my friend. So it's about your room. So this is perfect. Okay. This is awesome.
Yeah. So this has changed a hell of a lot over the last few years since I've been doing this. Where those cabinets are, I just had like one of those cabinets, and a double bed was there. So that's from the corner of the room over there by the Transformers display. So you've
done what my choice is, shelves as well as cabinets. I think we do that, don't we? We fill in spaces.
Yeah.
So I've noticed that in a few of the collection rooms tonight that we've
because again, I've seen I used to have a lot of shelves, and again, like Martyn, I took a lot of inspiration from Nick over at Only One Kenobi with his shelved room with his loose display, and I've got those floating shelves as well. But the thing is with those, god damn, when you take them out, you've got to keep filling the holes and stuff like that. So I thought, well, I don't want to keep moving the shelves about, so why don't I get some display cabinets? So these are like all IKEA. I know Dave would love the IKEA shelves. I think they're great. This is obviously the other side. So again, I nicked ideas from Only One Kenobi. I took the glass TV displays. I put 2 together. I don't know why I'm pointing because you can't see me pointing. I put 2 together by the window because I did want to again block that window out or put something there. And Georgie said no, bless her cotton socks. So I thought I better not do that. So I got those 2 display cabinets, TV displays, and they're glass. So I've got my Mandalorian stuff on there. My HasLab Razor Crest, which is pretty cool. And bearing in mind the pictures I've sent are just to this room. Like I say, I've got like stuff in the front room, the bedroom, and stuff like that. So I just concentrated on this room. So this is where I come in and chill out. And
I think it looks awesome. I think really good space. It's funny as well. Every one of these toy collection rooms, I've seen size art in it. The only person that hasn't got it is me.
But again, so on the wall, on the opposite side of that wall, I've got everybody else's art, like Tubbs and Christian and Mickey. You know, that's the stuff that I won from your live stream a couple of years back. So I've got that up on display. I've managed to now get my Marvel figures out on display. Not all of them. But so I've got the DC stuff there as well. Oh, what's that? That's really small. Oh, is this in my video?
Yeah, it came out like
so
that.
This is just So this is just like basically a walk around of what you've just seen in the photos. So
see, we all do that too. We haven't talked about that tonight. We've all made space for where we stream or where we make videos too, because we've all got that in there.
Oh, that Imperial shuttle. Every time I see that, it's
gorgeous. Isn't it?
I'm going to try something in a minute. So the camera I've got, I'm going to try and take it off the top of the laptop and try and do like a close up of certain bits and bobs.
You're more than welcome. Yes, you can.
So that's a new table that I bought. That's a new display case that I bought, or a cabinet that I bought.
So does the door hit the shelves when it opens, Stu?
Well, not if you do it very gently. Very, very careful.
No, Martyn. The answer to that is yes, it does.
Yeah. What, do you get about 45 degrees out of that door?
I get enough to get through the door. Yeah, just enough. Yeah.
Just don't put any weight on, Stu.
No, God no.
But going back to what you just said, though, Shabby, everyone seems to have like a dedicated space in the rooms for filming as well. I don't. I have to just have a pop-up table that I have to literally get out. I don't have anything permanent set up in the room. I've got to actually get all my gear out, like a fold-out table that I have to use and get it all out every time. I don't have a dedicated.
Well, I have taken some crates out of here, Luke. I've taken some crates out and some boxes. I mean, bless him. When Martyn and Adam come round that morning on the live stream, they saw how hectic our place was. It is mad. Boxes here, there, and everywhere, crates and like tubs of figures and stuff like that. So I did this because I knew I was coming on here, so I thought I'd make an effort and tidy up.
Well, there's Dave's talking about having a museum. Stu's got a museum. you know, walking around Stu's house, it's like every corner, every room, every crevice, there's something new to see. It's incredible experience.
It's funny, isn't it? Because, like I say, every room you've looked at, every time your eye goes somewhere else, you see something else. Do you see what I mean? Like, oh, there he's got that, and he's got this.
I mean,
I love it.
Again, I'm one of these people that I like to mix it up. So I have shelves, I have cabinets, I have loose figures, I have carded figures, and I try to get the best of every kind of thing, you know, that I've taken inspiration from everybody else. I mean, I've said many a times it would have been so much easier if I'd have just stuck to one toy line, which would have been predominantly Star Wars. But because there's so many other great lines out there, stuff that I really like. You know, Sai is a big influence with the DC. You know, you've been a big influence, Shabby, with the Motu and stuff like that. And again, I've not got any Motu in this room, but that's all in another room. You know, I've now able to, oh, why did you show that? I was so happy that I was coming on. Cheers, mate. Thanks.
Shabby, you wouldn't go back to the first photograph on this set, if you wouldn't mind. And I was just looking on it. I looking at Stu's room there. I think you've really made the best of your space, and it looks fantastic. The only thing is, if you look at the photograph down at the bottom there, and just to the left at the bottom of the screen, that's a portrait I took of myself and sent to Stu. You can see exactly what he thinks of me.
I forgot that was there. But let me try this, Chubby. Let me.
Yeah, of course you can. Let me just make you bigger, buddy. Let me make you big.
There you
go. Go from there. Yeah.
So I'm going to spin this round, and hopefully, so this is my view from here. Again, with myself, I'm trying to enhance the collection, so I get all these display, you know, like these display stands and stuff like that. So that's pretty cool. And then I've got like my TIE fighters up there, all my vintage stuff here. This is more like where people have got me stuff, and you know, so like My Little Pony, and he's there as well. So I've again enhanced these by putting them in acrylic cases.
They look great.
I think acrylic cases are brilliant.
This is all that, I mean, see, this is the stuff that you don't see. This is mental. So all this is to be opened. I've got nowhere to display that at the moment. Stuff to get away. Georgie's left her stuff in here as well. Unbelievable. But again, you got some more vintage stuff there, and I think I've got. Don't want to pull the bloody.
You do love your ships, Stu, don't you? You love all the ships and.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, again, it was a case of just starting off collecting figures, but I don't know if you can see. This is like my my vintage Star Wars section there.
Oh, wow.
I also collect dust as well. I'm not ashamed to admit it. So
yeah,
there you go. Last 17 just there. Then I've got all this just here, more ships there, and then I've got. So what I'm doing here with this, the Kenner 96, I'm trying to recreate with all the TVC stuff. So I'm trying to display it the same way. And then I've got that there as well, which is just like a little diorama. I don't know if you can see that.
Mm-hmm.
So just little bits and bobs there. If I spin that round, this is where's that gone? Yeah, that's nice, isn't it? Look at that.
It's massive, isn't it?
Yeah, it is big. Yeah. Georgie was over the moon. Absolutely delighted. In fact, I'm out of space. I'm gonna hire a hangar down at Farnborough Airport and just put it in there.
Gary Moore says, "Is that the wedding photo turned around?"
Yeah. But again, I mean, so I've only done this yesterday. I moved stuff around, so I wanted to display the vintage G.I. Joe stuff. So I've managed to get that again because that hydrofoil was too good not to have on display. So. And then
the hydrofoil's beautiful. I mean, I'm not a massive G.I. Joe fan, but the hydrofoil is an exceptional vehicle.
And then if I God damn it, come around that way, and then there's the Razor Crest and all the sort of like Mandalorian type sort of stuff. There's some more stuff on the floor there. Transformers in the background. I managed to put a shelf up above the window there, which is
good idea.
Cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, and that's that in a nutshell. So let me just where am I going with this? Right.
I think what I like about that is that because we all have very personal spaces.
There you go.
But I think yours in particular, Stu, because it's almost like set up the display quite a lot of the space, sort of where you sit in the room. It's like you've got a good view of sort of like the shuttle in front of you. Whereas, I mean, I don't necessarily have that actually. So I'd go up to the shelves and sort of like look at stuff.
Yeah.
You've got a good view of everything. where you sit.
Scuba Pete says, do you ever consider completely redoing your display area for upgraded display options?
Yeah, if like.
Well, you just said that about the hydrofoil, didn't you? That's something you had to display. So
yeah, because I mean, Chris sent me that, and I've managed to put it together as much as I can for the time being. I've still got a couple more bits to get, but it's such a great vehicle. I'd want to display it. But again, I like the his tank, and I know a lot of people don't like displaying sort of like 3 3/4 inch figures with 6-inch figures, but that's never really sort of bothered me. Again, I like both. I like both worlds and that sort of thing. So I'll put my 6-inch and my 3 3/4 inch together. I keep it all in sections, like all my G.I. Joe, all my DC, all my Star Wars, all my Transformers, all my Marvel, and stuff like that. I've got all my Motu together. So I do try and
do it in the theme, like when you saw Dave's, it was like everything was mixed everywhere, wasn't it? You saw this.
But I've said all along that there's no right way of displaying stuff and there's no wrong way of displaying stuff. It literally is all down to people's personal preference. And Conor hit the nail on the head tonight. We're absolutely privileged to be able to see how other people display their stuff, because I look at Luke's and think, absolutely fantastic with those mask boxes and stuff like that. What a great collection that is. I look at Martyn's and think, wow, wouldn't it be great to have the space to put all my carded figures on the wall? I look at Delvin's and think, genius when it comes to the dioramas and stuff like that. Absolutely superb. I love it. But that's a great way of displaying your figures, though, because you get a lot of figures in that display. So, you've got the best of both worlds there. I look at Dave's and think, all that vintage stuff. I mean, and some of those toy lines are absolutely superb. And I look at your Shabby and I just think, absolutely brilliant. I love what you've done with your collection with the lighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I think
it's funny as well, because you'll see it in mine's the last one to show in a minute. And I like to keep my room dark, whereas you lot have a light room as well. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
All yours is lit and it's really
again,
well lit.
I would love to add lights to these. I'd would love to put the light in, because I've seen how Dave lights his up. I've seen how Luke lights his up, and I just think absolutely superb, because it really
the reason
does.
I did it though is around me here. So from there all the way across, it's all windows, all big doors and windows, and I had to get these black sheets and black old like plywood, then black them all, so no light gets in here at all. But it's all like, so this for an American household is more like a conservatory, if you will. Do you know what I mean? It's like so, and all the light in. So when I took it all out, I realized, my room went really dark, and so I lit it up because of that. I'm just going to say one thing about this. It says toys in the bedrooms. It's about a 5'2" action figure. Now, just to spell some things, I want to show everybody. This is the action figure, right? That Si wants. This is it. Now you tell me whether this is an action, a 5 foot action figure.
There's two different types. One is Final Fantasy. That's cheaper from Final Fantasy.
Right.
Action figure.
Is that 1-to-1?
Yeah.
Right. yeah. This is 1-to-1.
And that's Kai from King of Fighters. But again, if you look at the first picture, we'll say at the very bottom, action figure. Now, I know that you lot like you've all find this funny and stuff like that, but you've got to remember it's how you display things. And I've got a big anime collection, and I've collected anime characters for years. And I always think in my collection room on a big rocking chair, just to have a not one of these.
Shut the ransom anyway.
Are these posable?
The 5'4", they're a full silicone figure with a metal skeleton inside, so they're fully posable. But my point is, it's just a big action figure to me.
Absolutely, so I agree with you, and it's all about posability. And I'd have had that nerd one bent right over that chair.
But this is also one as well. So if you look at this Princess Leia, you lot are trying to tell me you wouldn't have a full size Leia like this.
I definitely have that in my room.
It's not screen accurate, is it?
Yeah.
I think it's a bit different. I'll be honest.
A bit.
There's a few more clothes on her for a start.
If you can't see the joints on the figure, is it an action figure?
Well, that's the thing. For me, it's just to have it posed in my room. Like, you know how Keith Guppy's got
I'm in that.
stormtroopers. You know?
Oh, you don't even want to see the comments.
But that's my point. You see, for me, it's just anime characters. But when you show like a Princess Leia, most people think, yeah, I'd love one of them in my collection.
You stick by your guns, Si. You stick by your guns, mate. There's nothing wrong with those.
No,
I think you're just a bit weird, to be honest.
I don't remember Princess Leia having 2 JCB starters sticking out of her blouse on Endor.
Well, would.
I've made me laugh out. Sorry, Andy. Sorry.
Brilliant. That's absolutely brilliant there. So, Stu, some nice stuff there. Be gentle with that door when he moves. I have a similar issue with the door shelf by the door. Just need to be careful opening it, right? So, even toys are in the loo too, Stu.
No. It's the only place, the kitchen and the bathroom.
I will not be looking for bugs in Stu's crevices. Thank you. I like that stand for the shuttle. That's awesome. My shuttle is relocated to the landing configuration. So
that's the thing. I used to have mine in landing, and then I thought, you know what, I'm going to change it. And I thought, bloody hell, that is big. When I put the wings out, it's like it's huge. You feel sick with the camera. Sorry, mate.
Stu, have you ever considered lighting or replacing an overhead light with a mega head track light? That's just something that you've got, Martyn, and yours, that big light that goes round. And
yeah, I've got mine's on a remote control, so I don't know if it's going to show up, but you can see my room's now got warmer. And so I can change the lighting to now it's like really cool. But to be honest with you, it's really annoying because you see the reflection just there. I can't get rid of that, and it drives me mad.
That's right. I get it off my head all the time, Martyn, so I wouldn't worry about it. But yeah, I do want to get some lighting, though. I definitely want to get this. I mean, I was supposed to have done it last summer, but we were busy. So yeah, I'd want to get some lights for these, definitely.
Yeah, lighting makes a big difference.
It does, yeah.
But you can also, I want to change the lighting in here. I've learned so much just from doing the lighting last time.
So how would you do then? Would you do like what Martyn's done and put a big light in the middle and like a big LED?
I have a big light. I have a big light in the middle, but to be honest, I think I want to get rid of it.
You want that like more like?
Yeah, I find it really annoying. So yeah, in my head, in the version 3 design, part of the design actually takes into account the lighting that I'd want to have. So because I think you need to design the lighting in almost from the beginning.
Yeah, no, I agree with that. Yeah, Jonathan Redmond says that he's 100% sex dolls. So,
well,
Wizzy says there we go.
Sex with it. It's not if you don't, is it?
I mean, they are PGM size, aren't they? They're PGM size.
They're 5'4", full size.
Oh, they're taller than PGM.
Honestly, all I'm saying is that if they make the one that if they make like a Faye Valentine or they make a Chun-Li, it's like characters that I've collected for years since the 90s and stuff, I would definitely buy one because I just love one in my room like that in front of all that collection. That was all it would be. My only concern, like I said, is that it's convincing people that you don't mess with that.
No, you don't.
That's the only thing, isn't it?
Gary Moore asks, why are the ankles tied to the chair? Doesn't seem like very action figure-esque.
I
have zero issues here, Si. Get them both.
Cheers, ladies.
Was it cold outside?
Thank you.
Must be cold. There's no way Si wouldn't hit that action figure.
Convincing people you wouldn't, isn't it?
Look at all these people. We all discussed that, Si. Well, can you put the link in the chat? These are so he's telling me about this thing, right? He's telling me about it. So as he's telling me, I said, who makes them? And he said it's called Juicy Made. So straight away, so as he's talking, I go on to the website, and straight away it says you have to be 18. I thought, who's he trying?
No, let's be fair. Half the action figures you buy say over 18, and especially the ones I buy.
Okay, so you're going to the toys collectors fair, are you saying? Yeah?
Bit of both.
Not some adult shop in Blackpool. Look at that. Brilliant. Seems like, should I meet him or not? You know, rooms are funny, aren't they? For me, it's always been in flux, always willing to change stuff around. Also, I'm a collector, not a hoarder. And they'll always be letting things go if someone wants it. Yep. But Pod Racing Palp says, I can change my lights to all kinds of colours. When it's red, I get some odd people. DJZ says, my toys are stored in plastic tubs as Jace is taking over the house with all his stuff. It's like, as long as it makes you happy or gives you
No, but I suppose what he's just said there is pretty right, because say if I do get one of these figures, right, and they are sat in the chair, but my room's red, then people are straight away gonna go, oh my God, aren't they? So I couldn't really, you'd have to put the light in properly, wouldn't you? I'd keep it all white, all well lit.
Yeah, just don't sit in the
dark,
window,
very dark.
Yeah, keep that.
Not if you watching it up a lot.
Sorry, Sammy. I know we're getting sort of close to, we're over 2 hours now. But bless him, Dom Taylor. He's a local lad who lives near me, and he's sort of come into our community fairly recently. And due to us, he started collecting himself now. And he sent me a picture and just asked, "Would you mind showing it before we finish?"
No, not at all. Have you got it on your?
I've sent you it via Messenger. He got a really nice cabinet, and he's just started filling it with some Star Wars.
Yeah, Steve sent me some too, so I'll show Steve's as well. Is everybody all right for time, by the way?
Yeah.
All right, okay, yeah, all right. Oh yeah, we've got it right here. So let's have a look.
But he just said we've inspired him, and he's started collecting himself. But
he's nice. He follows me on Insta. I follow him back. He's a lovely fella.
Great guy, yeah, lovely guy, he really is.
So this is what Dom's done right now.
Yeah,
nice.
He's got a real nice start, and he's got that cabinet's real nice as well. He's gone for a really good style. So
so he's only started collecting, and he's after smashing that cabinet with the light. Like that's phenomenal, isn't it?
He's doing so good. He's the way he's picking things up, and he's getting everything at real good price as well. He's doing it really clever and really smart. And
I love that ATST in the middle. That looks fantastic on the top shelf.
Yeah,
really good. So, well, before I get to mine, I'm just going to show Steve as well. Good old Loma Valda. He sent me some pictures too, and this is what Steve looks like now. We were all talking before about the amount of space we've got and everything else. And Steve's is pretty. It's pretty impressive, man. So I was, excuse me, how Steve's look. He's like this.
Oh wow!
You see what I mean? Wow! Look at that. Everything's on there, and he's got a mixture of both too. Opened and closed and whatever. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Look at that.
How's he get in?
Crikey, yeah. and they look like sort of almost store shelving, don't they? As if they
do.
Out of the.
Yeah. But that's something I've noticed as well tonight. Yeah, that we all put our stuff on display differently too. We all, different cabinets, different colours, the way we light it and so forth. Yeah. Let's have a look. Si, you'll be okay if you keep her in the house. As if you take her out in the car, you might get into trouble. I had one of those female figures, very lifelike. She told me to F off, and I sent her back to. I'm going to go inside Action Dollars a funky pop. No problem. I was like sending that picture to Luke. That was dead nice of you. Right. Yeah. So I'll get to mine. And then I'll let you all go. First of all, I just want to say thank you all. I have thoroughly enjoyed tonight. Looking at everybody's collections and so forth. Brilliant. And I hope you do it yourselves. I always enjoy that when you all make videos of your own collections and having a look through. I find it fascinating, especially when it comes from my friends. So brilliant. Loved it. Right. So this is what I've done with mine. So as you can see, mine is different to yours because it's dark. Do you see what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It works, though. It works. Yeah, it does.
Yes. So behind here, you'll see these black curtains right here. But that's, like I said, it's all French doors all the way around and windows and so. So I had to close all that in because of North Carolina heat. It's 110 with humidity and every, So I made sure what's the temperature was perfect in these rooms. Well, that's where I put them all in, and I got the inspiration to do these sort of things from, like I said, VTR, and then Scuba told me about the lights, and so I lit it up like that. And obviously my orange couch, and I have a foosball coffee table, which Jem found, which was pretty cool. And then, so that's my older version of the room. And then as things are piling up and so forth, I changed it. So the orange couch is just sold. So I just sold the orange couch. But that's how it looks
dark,
now.
But it's not dark. The room is dark, but the shelves are well illuminated. Everything stands out. Really,
the thing that strikes me is the lighting really brings out the colors of those Motu figures, like really pops.
Yeah,
Doesn't it?
they're a fantastic line to collect that Motu. Awesome.
Yeah, I think one of the things that's important for me, and I think a few of you have said it tonight, is color. I like it popping.
Yeah.
I don't want them to look like old paintings. I want it to look like toys that have really stood out and so forth. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing it that way. But as you can see, I try and keep my stuff together, like the Indiana Jones together, the Playmobil together, the Motu together. So that's how I used to put all my Black Series. And like I said, I've got over 600 of the bad boys now. So that was one of the reasons why I keep changing my room.
Is there that many Black Series?
Yeah.
Jeez, yeah, that's crazy.
So that's where I work. So that's where I am right now. So I changed it and put all the Black Series, and like on the sides of the one, I've got an alcove in it as well.
Wow.
Are they the red and black box ones that you got there?
No, the red and black box. I'll show you that in a sec. So there's Red 5's picture and stuff. So I took that down and put it in my workout room, and I've put all the shelves up there basically. I think I've noticed that with you all tonight. You kind of have ideas how to make space. Don't like when you saw Stu put that shelf above the window and that kind of thing. You try your hardest to look for it. But that's why I used to keep all my Motu in that corner like that. And I didn't like the fact that these tables stuck out, and it didn't work for me. So what I did was, do you see what I mean? See the way it sits out right there? And so I changed it. I started to convert it a little bit and change it around. And then I took all it's weird that I've never classed myself as a Hot Wheels collector, but every time I go to a Walmart or a Target, I always find like a Batmobile or a pop culture one. They're the only ones I have. And so what I decided to do was that. So I bought a display thing.
Yeah, see, that looks good. I like that.
Yeah.
And it's like I said, there was two reasons for me. BTR's not going to like this at all. First of all, it's because it looked like a toy display, and second of all, it was dead easy to do. You know what I mean? It was just dead easy for me to stick them all up, and that rotates, and so I can put stuff on the other side as well. And then, as you can see there, I started to put my Black Series on that side as well. So.
Nice.
So up there, you made a comment when Des showed a picture of you can't put figures on an oak raft. Well, those trilogy figures are on an oak raft, Martyn. So they're the ones I kept. I loved that Saga and trilogy.
I love the trilogy collection.
Yeah, they were amazing.
But yeah, so that's why I stuck them up. I did that deliberately for you, Martyn, to show you. Yeah, you can.
That's awesome. It's really funny, Shabby, because when I first started watching your channel and when you were doing your videos and your collection and stuff like that, I always thought you was in a basement. I thought that was a basement.
No, it's a room next to it. Yeah, I've got a workout room. Don't laugh. It is. I do work out. So it's like
I thought I heard you wrong. All right.
But so I've kept all the, and that's something I did open most of the Motu. Some of them I've kept, like the creations one, whatever, in boxes, which is that there. But I liked the pop of color, and it's like I said, I think it was talking to you a lot for the past 5 years. It's like sometimes you do want to open something, don't you? You do want to display it. So that's where I keep my Black Series, all my red and black boxes all in there, and that's completed. I finished off the red and black one, so I was really.
I've sold off a lot of mine.
Yeah, nice carded Darth Plagueis down there. So
yeah, that's what I mean. When I saw, like I said, that's when I saw Delvin, I thought, oh no, what's he done? So, and that was always one of my favorite Star Wars figures. It was the Revenge of the Sith one where you got a burnt Anakin. Yeah. And I just found it fascinating that you'd tell kids a pellet,
Shabby, I've often wondered where you find the space to put all your stuff, because you're always posting pictures of like piles of things that you've picked up on a shopping spree and stuff. I've often wondered where you put it all.
Well, that's one of the things about the big table I just got in the middle too, and I didn't make a video of that, but underneath it I've managed to put boxes and boxes of that I want to rotate, like Stu was saying there. So I just find the space, and I change stuff around and so forth. But yeah, this is how that looks. Nice. So it goes. So now I just like the hallway, and it just goes, and then I closed it up there because that goes into the main part of the house, and so my wife would batter me if it went any further than that. So.
Did you manage to find the Black Series Darth Vader Jules End that size after?
No, it's meant to be Joe Fest 2. Couldn't find that anywhere. So this is what I've been working on this week. So that's above my mantelpiece, and
Nice.
so I've taken all that off, and then I've started to put like the dolls on it and the GI Joes.
Oh, you got the Wednesday doll.
Yeah, that was because of your Steph. She showed it, and Si got it too, and I thought, oh, I'll have to get that, and I'm glad I did because she's got some lovely ones of that. And then the ROM was simply because of watching a VTR video, and I saw the old school one. So when the new one came out, I thought, oh, I'm going to have to get that. And there's VTR's Action Man that was signed by Bob Breakin.
Oh, no.
So, yeah, that's just eclectic stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not really a big Lego thing, but some of them I'll put on there. Simon got me a couple of the Muppet Legos, and so I did it. I got them. I finished off that line. But, yeah, I just like it. And I love, like I say, the reading. And that's my old VCR. And I collect the, VHSs and that kind of thing. And so, yeah, and then above it, like I said, all above this is all my eclectic stuff where people have sent stuff in or anything that, I just add on to it, basically, like that.
Nice. Yeah, I'm still a big fan of physical media and VHS.
Yeah,
I agree. Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. I had a chance, when the PS5 came out, and you could either get a digital or still a disc player. I've still got the disc one. I'm funny for that. I need a library.
I've just bought another VHS player, and still buying videos.
But yeah, so I like to keep there's all the Batman 66, and then vintage Star Wars, Dungeons and Dragons, and then up there is things like where DTM's Doctor Who stuff, and Jason sent a TARDIS in, and then I filled it all with the Motu, like that.
The thing is, with the Motu is such a colourful line, and so is the Batman 66, and I just love it. I think they look absolutely awesome.
Yeah,
and Mask is quite a colourful line as well.
Yeah, Mask. I always collect a Mask at Joe Fest. I always get one of the mini vehicles and did it that way. But that down there was, I loved that Indiana Jones. I thought it was. I know it got a lot of flack, but I loved it. So I got all them, and then the last one I needed, JD Family, was that the Hasbro Pulse one where it came with the thing that the gold thing that went down the rock.
Oh, the thing from the temple.
Yes,
is that the 6-inch line?
The 6-inch line of it. Yeah, I did get the retro ones too, but and then like Playmobil, I have a big thing for the pop culture, so that's the Back to the Future and the Ghostbusters and the Scooby Doo, and then obviously but there's a thing going back to what we're talking about tonight, lads. Is space. I've got all my vintage Star Wars figures out, but not all my vintage Star Wars vehicles. Do you see what I mean? There's only a couple of them there, and I put out my favorites, if you will. But yeah, there's all the Motu, which
that looks incredible.
Awesome.
Yeah, so good.
Really cool.
But yeah, it's but I like to keep it as neat and tidy as possible. There's one I was just working on now where I'm going to put all the Snake Mountain and the Castle Grayskull with the big, and make a big diorama in the middle. But I'm not going to do what Delvin does, make stuff. I'm just going to stick them on, do it that way. So
I love the dark. Big set, isn't it?
Putting the, I agree with Dave. You can't find space for some vehicles. I've always liked Slave One, so I put them up and just hung them basically. But yeah, that's.
I'm like Luke. It would scare the bejesus out of me if I put stuff up on the ceiling. It's bad enough putting shelves up, let alone putting stuff to the ceiling. I don't fancy that at all, to be honest.
Well, yeah, that's the way.
That was awesome, Shabs.
Oh, great, really nice.
So Shabby, this is the only Marvel Legends figure that I've ever bought is the ROM.
Yeah, I just thought when I saw it,
Marvel Legends figure I've ever bought.
And what do you think of it? Do you like it?
It's a decent figure. Yeah, it is a decent figure. So it's sat next to my original ROM.
Yeah. No, not aluminium foil. I put plywood, then I put black cardboard, and then I put the curtains over it. So, but it still gets warm in here. But luckily, the figures don't melt, and it doesn't go like that. So that's right. There will be Christmas decorations. Do you ever do that? Do you put Christmas decorations in your toy rooms?
Yeah, I've done. Yeah,
I put one. I put one in here.
I did last year. I had the Christmas tree just here.
I had a bit of tinsel in here once.
I would put mine.
Yeah, but Steph wants it all around the rest of the house, so I might be allocated one or two bits of tinsel.
Oh, Steph's fault, is it? Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I've just been told she's gone to bed and switched off, so I can say what I want.
Oh,
this is like
that sounds like a trap. I'll be honest.
Well, DCB, Steph, Georgie, there's a few girls in here that do collect.
Oh yeah, you should go.
Do they ask to go into your room, or do you make space you know, do they have their own little space in the house for their stuff?
This isn't my room. This is our room. So Georgie can come in here, do whatever she wants. Well, apart from take stuff down, obviously, and put her stuff up, but she's not doing that. But other than that, she can come in. She do what she wants. You know what I mean? and that's one reason why we do want to get a bigger place, is because she has got so much fantastic stuff, and I have taken up most of the space. So it would be nice for her to get her bits out on display, her collection bits, that is, out on display.
Right.
Yeah.
I always thought that as well. That was the weirdest thing. Why we got a fireplace when it's 82 degrees on Christmas Day? Never worked. I'd never worked that out. Ever worked that out. Yeah.
For Christmas.
Yeah, just see the Imperial Shuttle in shabby display brings it into each one of those vehicles, isn't it? The Imperial Shuttle. That was a gift of John Baldry years ago. Wow, it was always something I loved. Right, have we got anything else to say before we go?
No, apart from that, it's great seeing everybody's different displays and seeing how different stuff. Yeah,
brilliant. Really enjoyed it. Yeah, been great.
Thanks, guys.
Man. Been awesome.
We all collect different things.
We do, and I think that's what we've noticed tonight. It's funny, isn't it, that we've all the way we all collect, the way we all set it all out and display it. I've loved tonight. It's been absolutely brilliant. So let's have a look. It's the oddball stuff in Shabby's collection. The Crazy Cat Lady, Steve Irwin, Pee Wee, Teddy Ruxpin. I'm just, the thing about it, I've said this before on things, I've never put myself down as boys or girls toys or vintage or I just love all this shit. I love it all. You know what I mean? And it's whatever takes my eye, really. And you know, you've got to have your nostalgia to it and so forth. But I think I mean, they give you strife about the My Little Pony shoe, but it is cool to have them in your collection, if you will.
Oh, is it? Oh, I don't know. I don't collect them.
Yeah,
I just get sent them.
So brilliant. Everyone's, by the way, if there's anyone that's watching tonight that isn't subscribed to any of these gentlemen, every one of their channels is in the description below. So and please, like I say, for an extra version of VTRs, check out Toy Overdose. He did a great video on VTR's collection. It's really well done. Brilliant. Anything else before we go? Anyone's got anything coming up they want to advertise or say?
No.
We'll see Superman on Friday, then Blackpool Toy Fair on Saturday. So I might film a bit of that. DTM might film a bit of that, see what that was all about. Yeah. And then next Wednesday, it's another part 2 of this show. So next Wednesday, we'll have a different panel of guests, and they'll be showing us their displays and talk about theirs. So
so there'll be a part 2 of this next week also. Yeah, because a few lads reached out to you, didn't they, say we'd like to do it. So yeah, brilliant. Yeah. All right, well, please like and subscribe to all these gentlemen here, and we'll see you all soon. Say goodnight, lads.
Good night.